staff. Leading the charge is the dual threat quarterback, Ryder Barry Smith, who threw for over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns last season. He's joined by standout running back Miles Johnson. We are getting ready for the kickoff. We got Nolan Budish back to kick. Ben Byman is the normal kicker. Ben Byman is out this week, and so Nolan Budish will be kicking off. Okay. Are we good now? Okay, so we're getting a little bit late start. We'll do our intro in a moment. Waiting for co-announcer Dave Oliphant. We got Nolan Budish back to kick off for the Wolves. He's in for Ben Byman. Nolan kicks it. We do an onside kick, and looks like the Tide are going to take it about at 48-yard line. Little sneakery from play one from the Wolves. So tonight's matchup is WIAA 4A Eastlake Wolves taking on the 3A Gig Harbor Tides. The Wolves are coming off of a loss last week down in Southern California against Williamsfield from Arizona. The Tide are coming in off of a very emotional win. They had their 47th annual Fish Bowl where they played their crosstown rival, Peninsula, and they won the third straight Fish Bowl. The Tide are coached by a new head coach, and they're running the wing tee this year. Looks like we got some flags on the play. We'll take a moment.
We'll see what's going on. Delay of game on the Tides.
So the Wolves are coming off of a 4-5 season in 2024. The Wolves finished third in the Kingco Crowns division, and they actually won more road games last year, 3 of 4, but they struggled and won just one home game.
Number 3, Sawyer Hayes in the quarterback.
Wolves are being led by veteran quarterback Ryder Barry Smith, who threw for over 1,000 yards last year. Ryder threw for 175 last week down in Southern California. Looks like the Tide are going to get up to about the Wolves' 49-yard line. Wilson West for the Tide. He was an impact player last week. Miles Johnson and Ryder Paterno in on the tackle. Last week, the Tide, as I was saying, played in their rivalry game. They did not throw a pass with this wing tee offense that they started with this year. So I would expect to see a lot of ground action tonight from the Tide. We got Sawyer Hayes in at quarterback. He is a two-way player. He pitches it out to the outside, and that is going to be shut down just a little bit shy of the first down. Looks like it's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Landon Johnson, who is a senior for Eastlake, a standout lacrosse player, in on that tackle, pushing him out of bounds. So we're 3rd and about 1.5 on this opening drive from the Tide.
It's 3rd and 1 for Gig Harbor.
The Wolves are bringing a lot of excitement into the game tonight, pumped up for it. So 3rd and 1, this is going to go 2 men in motion. Handoff and shut down. The Wolves shut down that play for a loss of 1.
Number 4, Jack Steiner.
That was that tackle in the backfield was by Jack Steiner, who is a junior. So we're going to keep our eye on running back Ian Shear. Last week he had 3 touchdowns for Gig Harbor, 192 yards.
4th and 2 for the Tide.
4th and 2 for the Tide, in motion up the middle, and that looks like that is going to convert. Wilson West on the carry with a gritty stop on 4th and 2 from the Wolves. That's going to bring the Wolves offense out on the field for this first time tonight. We're going to see veteran quarterback again, Barry Smith. Barry Smith threw for 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns last year. I would guess we're going to see a little more air attack from the Wolves tonight, run a little more of a spread offense. And I also guess that we're going to see a fair amount of running back Miles Johnson. Miles finished the year last year with a two-way All-Kinco Crown selection. Had over almost 1,000 yards of rushing and 8 total touchdowns for Johnson. Barry Smith back in the backfield. Johnson looks like he's going to pass. Passes it to 15, Chase Hanchka. Looks like Hanchka's going to get 6-7 yards on the play. Brings it up to about the Wolves' 49-yard line. Nice catch and run from Chase Hanchka. Chase had a great game last week. Quite a few targets. I think overall Barry Smith targeted over 8 receivers last week. Wolves come back up to the line. The near side, we have a single receiver. The far side, we have a single receiver and an H-back. Looks like we're going to block that. Miles cuts up off that block from Budish for a Eastlake first down.
Left tackle brought down by Riggs Holland for the Tides.
Okay, so that will bring up first and 10 from the 42, from the Tides 42-yard line. So Eastlake having some production in their first series of the game. We got trips to the near side, a single receiver on the far side. Johnson in motion. Looks like a little screen pass. Johnson still on his feet. He's going to lose 3 or 4 yards in the backfield. Just could not break free of the Tides defense. Welcome, Dave.
Jeremy, David Oliphant.
How did the team do, Dave?
Not the outcome we wanted, but youth went 2-2 today at Bellevue.
There you go.
So my team didn't win.
So welcome, Dave Oliphant, rushing, as I said earlier, from the youth game that he just finished coaching.
Apologies for being late. What did I miss here? I saw we kicked off.
We kicked off, did an onside kick, did not quite go
onside kick
from Budish.
Let's go.
And then didn't get recovered by the Wolves. Didn't have quite the hop that we were looking for.
Okay, listen, on the sideline here, J.R. Gill's coming in at quarterback, number 5. Ryder Barry Smith looks like he might have a cut. Has to come out for a play. So here, senior J.R. Gill comes in the game. Last week he came in the game, one play, was 1 for 1 with an excellent throw on third down.
3rd and 12, and made that conversion. Real gritty play last year.
Kim and Hanska to the near side, Ort and 7 to the far side. Hard count by Barry Smith. He was successful with that last week. Miles Johnson with the carry. He's got the edge, and Miles Johnson's off and running inside the 30, 20, 15, and down inside the 10-yard line. There's a flag at the end. That's going to be a horse collar.
Miles Johnson rumbles down to 10.
That was exciting. We missed a little bit of that last week down in Southern California.
Yeah, so last week, Miles Johnson had 13 carries, 47 yards. Not as productive as what we're used to seeing Miles. He had a couple of nice runs, and he had one rushing touchdown last week. So overall, not a bad game by Miles, but off to a great start.
It looked like an inside run, and Miles, with his excellent vision, bounced it out to the left side, and he was off to the races. Personal foul.
Horse collar.
As Dave said, looked like a horse collar. It was a horse collar.
Tack on half the distance.
All right, Barry Smith back in the game. So again, J.R. Gill, a good luck charm for the Wolves.
And goal.
And it looks like Mason King will be spread out to the left. Chase Hanska to the near side.
First
and
and goal.
Budish tight end. We've got double tight end formation. We didn't see this last week.
No, we did not. First and goal from about the 4.5.
Handoff up the middle. Miles Johnson. He's following his lineman. Down to the 1. He's going to be marked just short. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal for the Wolves.
Another gritty run by Miles Johnson.
If you're watching the YouTube, shoot us a text. Let us know how the audio is. I just got here, and any feedback is appreciated. Jeremy, you and I had a chance to sit down with Henry Volpone this week, and he said he wanted to be more gritty. So did Finn Waldron. We're going right behind them right now.
That's
I got
right.
a feeling.
A little hard count, it looked like.
Miles right behind him. Put the
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Eastlake Wolves right
Miles
behind
Johnson.
those linemen. They wanted to see some grit. We got some grit right there.
Miles Johnson into the end zone.
Well, Miles Johnson scored plenty of touchdowns last year for the Wolves, and here he gets his first at home to take this game to 6-0, and the PAT will take it to 7.
And again, Budish is kicking tonight. Budish is not a stranger to kicking, Dave, but he has not kicked in probably a year.
And he is your son, so
He is my son.
awesome. He's going to put a point on the board right now. Let's speak it into existence.
There we
Good
go.
snap, good hold, and it's blocked. That was a good block.
He is blocked.
Not returnable in high school.
Not the kicking start that we wanted, but that's how it goes.
Jeremy, what I'm glad to see is that we ran the ball. We knew coming into tonight that Coach Hurd wanted to establish the run. The players emphasized that when we met with them earlier in the week, and we saw it right there. That whole drive, a couple of completions, or at least one, but then Miles Johnson, they got a good dose of number 20 right there.
Hey, if you're listening to the live stream, we'd appreciate it if you go and mash down on that like button. Last week, 71% of the viewers weren't subscribed. It helps us, it helps you. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up and subscribe and become a follower of the
Jeremy, if you
Eastlake
tell
live
your
stream.
parents you're a YouTuber asking for likes and subscribes, people think you're out of your mind, but I just love it. You just
Hey.
ask, like and subscribe,
That's
please.
right, like and subscribe. So
All
let's
right.
see what happens on this kickoff. Last one was a onside kick. I think they maybe sniffed that out.
We've got Oliphant, Wheeler, Rogers, Barrett, and Finn Hanna on the near side. Far side, I see Katie Eaton. We didn't get everybody here. Deep
Looks like
kick.
we're going deep.
Fumble.
Oh,
Ball's
fumble.
on the ground. A pack of Wolves had him inside the 20, and he's back loose. Oliphant has him. He does.
Budish is there.
Budish has a good angle. Come on, Jim. He got him.
Yeah, there you
Wow.
go. Taken down by number 8, Nolan Budish. A lot of Wolves touched that guy
Nice
way
return.
back in the field.
When he fumbled it, bobbled the ball, I thought that we might even get
Yeah.
possession of it. He did a
Agreed.
great job recovering it. Great job by the Gig Harbor player there.
Looks like we got a player down on the other side. It looks like a Gig Harbor player. The return man.
Turner, that's a good athlete. Number 7.
Number 7 is
Troy Arnold.
Troy Arnold. He's a 6'5", 186 pound. They have him listed as a DB. Obviously, he's doing special teams returns.
Jeremy, last week we were down in Southern California. It was hot. It's not as hot today, but it is warm. This is the type of game where we could see some cramps and things like that play. It's 75 degrees out right now.
Yeah, I
It's
think
a
we
high
were
of 77.
82 last week at
Yeah.
game time.
My iPhone says it feels like 78. There's really no wind, so to speak of. The sun will set at 7:23. So like last week, we're going to finish the game in the dark. And but it
The
is
big
warm
difference
down on
this
the
week
field.
is we're inside a building. Last week we were on top of a building.
We were up on the roof, as
In
the
the
song
sun,
says.
yes.
All right, so I missed the first series. Obviously, this is the second series for the defense. The Wolves playing against the wing tee of Gig Harbor here, and let's see if we can get another stop deep in Eastlake territory.
Troy's off on his own power.
So it looks like number 7, Troy Arnold, got up and walked off on his own power, so we like to see that.
Eastlake in a 4-man front, or D end on this side. On the far side,
First and 10 for Gig
I
Harbor
believe
at the
that's
23-yard line.
18 Paterno. And Ron
Handoff.
cuts it up the C-gap off tackle. Eastlake pursuing. There's going to be a first down. I see 55 in the game, Wilson Fang. Wilson was out last week, so nice to see him back in action. I see 57,
28, Jackson
Devine in the
Miller.
game at defensive line. So it is Paterno or Devine and Fang in right now, and it looks like
12.
Wheeler and Adam Barrick in at linebacker right now. Maybe Budish out for a series. I see 4 Jack Steiner, Adam Barrick, 28 Wheeler, and 27 Barrett Ratlin. 23 Landon Johnson, the corner on the far side, and Miles Johnson back at free safety. Handoff is going to looks to the outside, cups it up inside the tackle, pulled down. Jack Steiner there first, and Miles Johnson was second. And that's going to be first and goal, or sorry, second. Looks like they can get a first down. I apologize.
Yeah.
Second and 2 from the 4.
Second and about, call it second and 2.
If you're listening to the game and you're headed to the field, don't forget that the concession stand is open. Or send somebody that's at the game some Venmo cash to go down and buy themselves a hot dog.
All right, here we go. Quick huddle. Quarterback sneak. Tush push up the middle. Gig Harbor's got their hands up as if it's good. The officials have not signaled yet. It's a touchdown. So a touchdown set up by a big kick return for Gig Harbor there. Eastlake with unfortunate field position. And Gig Harbor's offense is a bit of a machine, and they grinded there and were able to punch it in from 4 yards out.
Yep. So we will see the Eastlake return squad for the first time tonight. And see what they have up their sleeve. I would guess if it's like last week, we'll see Chase Hanchka in the backfield, along with Landon Johnson.
Gig Harbor lines up for the kick. Good hold, good kick. It is good. So Gig Harbor will take a 1-point lead here with 5:21 to go in the first quarter in Sammamish, Washington, for the Eastlake Wolves' first home game of the year. Jeremy, we've got a good turnout tonight of fans on both sides of the field. Gig Harbor, you can't tell, but that's a decent turnout on the visitor side. I suspect some are sitting in the shade. And here on a Saturday night, the student section in front of us is rocking. The band is rocking. The parent section is packed as I came up late.
First home game. Student section's theme is whiteout tonight, so student section below us. Cheerleaders between the students and the Eastlake players.
So it looks like Landon Johnson and Hanchka will go back to return like we saw last week. Eaton, Wheeler, and Barrick are the up-backs. Finn Hanna and Ariv Doshi in the second line. First line is
Pishiar,
Gideon Birchfield, Barrett Bratlin, and then 32 is Rory Johnson. So good to see Blake Pichar on the front line there. Let's see if he can get a block for the Wolves. Gig Harbor kicks it low and deep. That's probably going to go into the end zone. In high school, if it goes into the end zone, it's an automatic touchback. Ball will be spotted at the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Wolves with 5:21 to go in the first. So this is the second offensive series we've seen from Eastlake. Last series, Eastlake marched down the field led by Miles Johnson. If you joined us late, Eastlake had a nice defensive stop first series of the game and then scored. And then Gig Harbor had a big kickoff return and then scored last drive. So it brings us to 7-6. Eastlake extra point was blocked. Okay, we got Hanchka and Kim on the near side. Hand off to Miles Johnson up the middle. He's grabbed, but not until he gets about 5.5 yards. Nice run on first down.
Yeah.
Brought down by William Cody.
Also looks like tonight, just like last week, Evan Bettinger is still not dressed. He's got a knee injury. I'm also seeing Max Call down there, not dressed. And it looks like Colby Johnson's not dressed tonight either.
Ethan Rogers still in the game, out at split end at the top with Jacob Kim. It looks like Hanchka and Ort, the slot here on the near side. Pistol with Miles Johnson offset of Barry Smith. Johnson in motion. Barry Smith fakes to him, comes back to Hanchka. It's a receiver screen up the middle. Chase Hanchka gets the first down and a couple more. Wrapped up. Nice tackle by number 2.
Brought down by Ethan Trader and Taylor Carey.
Ethan Trader and Taylor Carey bring that get that tackle for the Tide.
Nice play call there. Last week we saw Miles motion out. They thought maybe we were going to throw to Miles. Barry Smith with a great pump fake, and Hanchka pulled it in, and a nice 8-yard gain on first down.
In a little bit of traffic, too. I mean, it wasn't a gimme by any means. So we got
Rogers and Hanchka on the near side. Budish is in the game at wingback on the top with Ort at tight end. Hanchka, and they do pitch it to Hanchka. Hanchka turns it up. He's holding on to the ball with 2 hands, picks up a couple. Kind of a head tackle there, but Hanchka did a great job putting 2 hands on the ball. So 2 plays in a row. We've seen the senior Chase Hanchka chase injured for much of the season last year and didn't see a lot of the field, but he is one of the leading wide receivers on this Eastlake offense. Jeremy, I was around this offseason, and I saw a lot of work by this team with 7-on-7 and field work with the quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff. And Chase put in maybe as much work as anybody, and he is ready for this season. I'm glad to see him get the ball.
Hanskin, Ort, Near. Looks like we got Kim.
And Budish on the far side. Hand up to Johnson up the middle. So Eastlake lines up in a pass formation, runs it up to Miles up the middle. So it'll bring up 3rd and 5. Ball's going to be spotted on the 30, good spot, 39-yard line. So it's actually going to be closer to 3rd and 4.
39, it's 3rd and 4 for Eastlake.
I do see Benjamin Byman on the sideline not suited up tonight. Maybe you already mentioned.
Yeah, Ben is out this week also. Ben's the...
Okay, here we go. We got Ort and Kim in the slot. Hansk out wide. Johnson in the backfield. Play action. Nice catch by Ort. He had the first down and forward progress.
They're going to give it to him.
The official on this side is giving him the first down, and that will move the chains. Nice catch by Ort there. The ball was, I don't know if it was behind him. It was where Ryder needed to put it. But either way, he pulled it in, and Eastlake has another first down.
Yeah. Nice play.
Ethan Rogers split out to the top. Hanska on the near side. Kim in the slot. Ort at tight end. Ryder Barry Smith calling the shots. Miles Johnson behind him in the pistol. It's a play action, and Barry Smith's got trouble. Good job, Ryder, holding on to that ball. Gig Harbor brought the house there, and we were not ready for it. That's a nice defensive play for Gig Harbor. That'll bring up 2nd and long.
And Johan Girl.
Gig Harbor subbing some guys out and some guys in. Big 60 and 63 sub out.
6-yard line. 2nd and 18.
Couple of big dudes, and looks like a smaller maybe pass rusher comes in at nose. Appears like Gig Harbor's basically in a 3-4 cover 2 look. Eastlake still in the 10 personnel, 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the near side. Barry Smith with a hard count. Gets him to jump, and that'll pick up 5 yards. I cannot say how proud I am of Ryder for his bark. I don't know if it's Aaron Rodgers or John Elway or whatever you and I channel, but last week I believe that he drew Williams Field off field 5 or 6 times.
I think it was 6 times.
And here we see our first tonight, and if we were in the Seahawks Stadium, we'd hear a little Caterpillar backup alarm, or a John Deere Pape backup alarm, I should say.
Yeah, you can't talk about the
defense has got to move back, yeah.
You can't say Caterpillar.
I can't say that. No, not on the air. All right, so Mason King comes in the game to the split at the top. Hanska on the near side, and he hand off to Miles. A lot of white jerseys in that vicinity.
It's
going to bring up 3rd and long. Miles a little slow to get up there.
Made the tackle.
March back a couple yards.
I'm interested to see what Coach Hurd calls here. It's not the. It's a different team that we played last week. We had some long 3rd down conversions, and Coach Hurd's got some great play calls up his sleeve. The press box is rocking. The students down here jumping up and down. It feels like a seismic event. All right, Ort and King to the top. Kim and Hanska to the near side. Fake to Kim. Comes back, screen to Miles. Miles evades the first defender, and he's in space. Here he goes! Miles Johnson inside the 30, down to the 20.
He's going to go all the way.
10-5, touchdown, Miles Johnson!
Number 2 tonight. He is fun to watch. If he gets in space, he is pretty amazing.
You know what's the game show? Dial a friend. I think Ryder just dialed a friend there.
Phone a friend.
He phoned a friend. His name's Miles Johnson. Miles nearly wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Then at the 50, I didn't know if he'd get the first down. Then at the 30, he did a little hip shake, and nobody was able to stay with him.
Yeah. kind of cut it back in at the 30 and then cut it back out, and away he went.
We've seen Miles do that all the way back to third grade. He's so good with the ball in his hands.
We're going to see another PAT attempt.
This is a big PAT here.
Jacob Kim, the holder.
Good snap, good hold. And another blocked kick. Great effort by Gig Harbor. I give him credit.
Yeah.
We have not got it figured out.
66 got his hand on the ball there. That's Evan Dye, 6'3", 260 pound. I guess he's a lineman of some sort, and on special teams.
Jeremy, I'm a big special teams guy, and it is disappointing that we've had that mishap 2 times in a row now. We got to get that fixed later in the game. That's going to matter.
It looks like the timing's off a little bit, which happens when you're switching people around. But yeah, I agree. You can't miss those points. I would guess at some point you're probably going to see Coach Hurd go to a 2-point, try to get it settled. So
we just noticed that play was the end of the first quarter. So at the end of the first, it's Eastlake 12, 2 touchdowns with 2 missed or blocked extra points. Gig Harbor with 7, and 12 minutes on the clock here at the start of the second quarter. On the near side, we've got kickoff team number 17, Gideon Birchfield, 4, Jack Steiner, 15, Hanchka, 32, Rory Johnson, 33, Eaton, 22, Hannah, 27, Bratlin, 7, Rogers, 28, Wheeler, and 2, Oliphant on the far side.
Deep kick.
Kick short in the middle, bounces. Eastlake converges on 9, the returner. It gets through the first wave, and he's off and running again. And
still on his feet. Down to about the Wolves' 45, 46-yard line.
Coach, we're talking special teams. That's 2 kickoffs in a row that we have not covered the field well. And we've got good athletes in there. A lot of the starters on defense.
Absolutely.
Not quite sure what's going on. All right, in on defense here. It looks like 57 Divine, 55 Fang, 18 Paterno on the near side, Ord on the far side. Looks like it's going to be a handoff to 19. Bounces it outside, hit hard.
It's going to get about 7-8 yards.
Looks like Finn Hanna was pancaked by 68 Peyton Howard, who was a two-time first-team all-conference offensive lineman, and I think we got him listed at 66. He's 68. He pounded on that play. He got the pancake belt that play.
2nd and 2 for the Wolves.
We got to see some grit out of the Wolves here, Jeremy. The D-line's got to step up and get some.
They got some big boys. They got a couple guys that are listed at over 300, and their D-line, they got some big boys on the O-line for Gig
Almost
Harbor.
Same play, 19. Steiner there, but he's late. Looked like the first wrap-up was Landon Johnson, the cornerback, number 23.
It's Wilson West on the carry. He was a big part of the game last week for sure. Him and Ian Shear did the majority of the carrying last week for the Tide.
Jeremy, interesting enough, Gig Harbor runs a very efficient wing tee or wing of sorts. We play Tumwater next, who also does that, and then Bellevue. So we're going to see this type of offense 3 times this year.
Kind of a warm-up, if you will.
Another to number 19 on the same gap. Nice tackle there by...
Tackled in the backfield.
26.
Yeah, so it's interesting, Dave. So new head coach for...
Barrett. I see white jerseys, hands up in the air. Guilty as charged, I suspect. They were frustrated at the officials.
So Gig Harbor running the wing tee, it's new for Gig Harbor this year. You know, I think maybe in the past they ran it a little bit, but under new head coach Jeff Scowum, Gig Harbor is running it. So Jeff originates in his coaching career from Bellevue. So he probably took some of the stuff in Bellevue. He spent a couple years up north with Stanwood and another team up there, and now he's gone down to Gig Harbor and took that head coaching job this year and has brought the wing tee to the Tide.
Here, interesting fact, Coach Greg Hurd, our new head coach this year, by the way, this is his first home game.
Yep.
He was a quarterback in the wing tee in high school at Stillicom High School, and so he knows it very well. So we got second and long for Gig Harbor, and a run right up the middle, and he's wrapped up. Finn Waldron had him. That is a tackle for a gain of 2. It's going to bring up third and about 24. Big down here.
Big down.
I call this money down. This is our get off the field down defense.
Bring up 2nd and 24 for the Waves.
3rd and 24, I believe.
We should keep an eye out for number
Second.
88, Jimmy Reed. He is back dressed tonight. Look to see him coming in the game on defense possibly. Play action. It is going to be a pass. Looking downfield, and nobody's even in the vicinity.
I believe that's the first pass that the Tides have thrown all season. So maybe getting some of those shoulder cobwebs out in that first pass.
They like to run the ball, and here it's going to be 4th down. It'll be interesting if they go. I did see them line up and kick a long field goal last week. I suspect they're going to go for it, or possibly that drops off sides.
That will be a long field goal if they decide to kick this, Dave. So we're at 4th and 24, 9:46 left on the second quarter clock. Looks like they are going to line up and they're going to go for it.
And a timeout called. Gig Harbor. A little bit surprised they're going to burn a timeout there on the 35-yard line.
So, Dave, I know at halftime, I think you got Jenny Johnson coming up to talk about.
Is Jenny going to come up? I came in a little late.
I think she's coming up.
And
she's going to talk about the event that's coming up on
October 4th
at the Pickering Barn. It's the what is it? The Wolves Under the Harvest Moon. It's a fundraiser for the Eastlake football programs.
Yes. And it's going to include, I believe, cheer, dance, and band are all going to have representation there. Super fun night. Jenny's going to tell us all about the games and the entertainment, but it's going to kick off at 5 p.m. with a host of games. And our very own, our offensive line coach, Plummer.
It's actually called DJ Coach Plummer.
DJ Coach Plummer.
A.K.A. Pool-Aid.
Like if you're by the pool and you need something to get you going, you need a little Pool-Aid.
That's right. So, yeah, we'll get Jenny up here at halftime, do a little interview with Jenny, talk about that. Jenny, the mother of standout running back Miles Johnson. And she also has a cheerleader down on the boxes, Maggie. Both
one
of them seniors.
Yeah, they're twins.
Yeah, twins.
All right, big down here. 4th and long, 4th and 25. And they do run the ball. And they pick up 7 yards, and it'll be
not quite enough.
I am shocked by the call on 4th and 25.
The pass didn't go well.
If you're going to give up yards, at least punt it down inside the 20, but they gave their team a chance to score, and it didn't work out.
And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Eastlake.
All right, so this is the Wolves' 3rd offensive series. We've scored on both Miles Johnson touchdowns, one by the air and one via Ryder Barry Smith through the air on a screen pass on 3rd and 15. Miles Johnson at tailback, Budish at the wing back. Got Hanschka and Rogers in the game at receiver. Snaps a little low. Johnson with the handoff, and here he goes again. Miles Johnson across the 50, down to the 40, 30. Knocked out of bounds, still on his feet.
I think he's making up for some yardage from last week.
Good run, but I think, Jeremy, you and I could have fit through that hole. Great job by the Eastlake offensive line. They talked about being more gritty.
Can we see a replay of that, Andrew?
A little bit late.
No, not yet.
All good. No worries. We were looking for a replay. We weren't set up for it there yet.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Great run, Miles. If you're watching at home, you can rewind it and watch it and catch back up with us.
We'll watch it later.
All right. So Gig Harbor here at the 4-man front. They had a 3-man front some of the series. Last series. Budish at wingback, Ord at tight end.
Hanschka on the far side. Gonna go
run,
straight
another
up
run
the
of
middle.
Johnson right up the middle, almost the same run, just on the other side of the center.
Yeah.
And on first down, Miles getting 10 yards right up the middle. I like how this
After
is going.
a 50-plus yard run, he might need a little oxygen, but he's pretty durable.
Now at halftime, Ginny may come up and ask that Miles doesn't have to carry the ball every play, but Miles has been an absolute workhorse for this team.
Good for Eastlake, first down.
First and goal from the 7. The same personnel in. No, we've got a new running back. Adam Barrick in at tailback. Barry
Got
Smith.
Hanchka far.
Barry Smith calls the signals. A handoff to Barrick, and he's up the middle, inside the 5, down to the 2.
Got a flag down on the play.
Handed off to number 26, Adam
Looking to see if the official, they're going to mark him down at the 1, but there's going to be a flag down.
In the
And that's in the
backfield.
vicinity of holding.
There is a flag, though, on the play.
See what the penalty brings.
Replay there.
First time we've seen Adam Barrick this year. We saw one run with Jack Steiner last week, and Barrick into the game.
All right, so that's going to push us back to first and goal from the 16-yard line.
Holding on the Wolves, it's going to bring us back to the
Barrick's still in the
16-yard
game, and I'm
line.
looking on the sideline for Miles if he's just getting a rest or if he's getting tended to.
First and 16 to go for the Wolves.
I do not see Miles down there, but it doesn't mean that.
Barrick's in the game here at tailback. Barry Smith hands it to Barrick. He's got white
Barrick running,
defenders
he's
on him,
going.
but he gets down to the 10.
Adam Barrick gets the rock.
They had hands on his jersey around the 17-yard line. I thought they were going to get him down, but nice run by Barrick there. And Miles comes back in the game. So second and goal from the 10.
Second and 10 to go for the Wolves.
Got 7:49 left in the second. Ryder comes
Love
in.
this Eastlake offensive line. Big 64 on this side.
Old
57 Divine. 64.
Finn.
Quick toss to Miles around the edge. Miles cuts it up, and he's going to walk
There's
into
a-
the end zone behind our favorite 64. Finn Waldron wanted to have grit, but he didn't even have anybody to block there as
Yeah, just-
Miles walked into the end zone. And we got an Eastlake Wolf
There we
down
go.
on the play. Looks like Mason Flynn might be down.
Mason Flynn is down.
Third
The
touchdown of the day
Eastlake-
for Miles Johnson. 2 by the
Engine
ground.
on the field.
Eastlake training staff tending to Mason out on the field. Mason had an injury last year that kept him out of most of the year. Hopefully this isn't a repeat. Hopefully this is just a cramp, but we'll see what happens here.
He was on the back side on that play. I couldn't see what happened. Jeremy, we got the they got us on the camera here. We're looking at live replays.
Looks like he just kind of
Just
got
got tangled
up
there
a little bit, is what it looks like.
Jeremy,
So-
we can say hi to the people at
Hey,
home here. This
welcome,
is the first year
welcome.
we've had the
Yeah.
the announcer cam, but we're thrilled to be here with you. Sorry I was late today. I came straight from Bellevue High School. There was a game before that I was coaching, but I'm very excited to be here and with you here.
I think check the Wolves YouTube account later this week. There'll be an interview that we had with the boys that we wanted to play before.
some of the seniors. We were hoping to play that video earlier before the game. It just didn't work out, but we will load that to YouTube this week, and we're excited for you to get to know some of those senior leaders a little bit more.
The other Eastlake player we didn't mention that's not suited, Riley Hill. Riley recovering from an ACL injury that he had in spring ball. Hopefully we'll see Riley at some point this year. So,
All right, in at right tackle for is number 50, Brady Painter. So glad to have Brady on the field.
We're going for
Brady
two.
here.
This is a 2-point conversion.
Budish, Ort, and King on the near side. Barry Smith rolls out to Hanska. out of the reach of Hanchka. I don't think that was quite catchable. I think Barry Smith would like to have that back, but Eastlake takes an 11-point lead.
7:20 left in the second.
7:20 left and a half. We have Wolves 18.
A lot counting on and riding on Mr. Miles Johnson's shoulder tonight.
Miles is having a day. And thanks to the offensive line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Henry Volpone and Finn Waldron, big 56, 57,
Jack
Devine
Devine
down there. And Paxton Jacobson doing a great job at center, the junior.
So
I see 50 Brady Painter down there getting some water, so we're going to see Brady Painter in action today. This is going to be exciting.
This is exciting. Yeah, Brady out all of last season.
Rough
with
season-ending injury right at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And Brady's whole family's been big volunteers and coaches. His older brother played for Eastlake. It was tough last year. So to have him back tonight, Brady, we're so thrilled that you're on the field. And I don't know if that was your first play, but welcome back to Eastlake.
Eastlake football. So Budish again back to kick.
Jeremy, I'd like to see some kick coverage here. Our special teams have been a weak point of the game so far today.
I agree. Last week it was
Budish
pretty
with
good.
It's an onside kick.
Okay.
And not a bad kick. It just took a good bounce and 78 fielded it cleanly.
You know what? That is one way to have good coverage is to kick it short.
Not the field position we want, but I'm glad that we are not deep in Eastlake territory to start the drive.
Yeah.
All right, so in at linebacker, it looks like it's Wheeler and Barrick. Barrick, who came in at tailback for Miles that last series. Wilson Fang and Devine tackles. Ort and Paterno at DN. 22 Finn Hanna on this near side. It's a run inside the middle there. Miles and Devine with the tackle. Miles came in late with a push, but Devine wraps him up.
So 28.
Jack Devine.
Jackson Wheeler a little slow to get up, but
Ball taken by Shear up the middle.
looks like Jackson Wheeler's coming off the field. Who is in for Jackson?
More of this Gig Harbor offense. Number 19, we saw this last series. Barrick had him, and 19 just keeps pounding.
Yeah.
James Castaneda.
19, no, it's Wilson West.
Oh, sorry, Wilson West.
I don't know.
Taken down by Eastlake's Landon Johnson.
Landon Johnson with the tackle. Looks like Budish came in for Wheeler, who came off the field after being slow to get up last play.
6.5 to go before the half, and Gig Harbor is marching. Be nice to see if we could get a turnover here or some kind of stop. Last drive,
We've actually done well. We've stopped him a couple times tonight, but it would be nice to do it again. Here we go. Little
inside run wrapped up by Mason. No, sorry, that's Barrett Bratlin,
and
the junior.
Budish on the assist there. Budish coming off the field as Wheeler goes back on.
Barrett Bratlin got his first career start last week, played mostly a safety position, but this week with Gig Harbor playing this heavy run offense, he's playing a quasi linebacker position. Nice play by Bratlin there. All right, it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 after the tackle by Bratlin. And another run right up the middle to 8. Wilson Fang has him. He tripped over 28 Wheeler, but Fang brought him down.
Big Daddy Wilson Fang. It is so good to see him back in the game.
Wilson, nice tackle, dude.
Taken down by Wilson Fang.
It's going to be 3rd and 5 from the 23-yard line.
Now this is going to be, based on what they've done so far, this would be 4th down territory, so we need a good stop here. Looks
Budish
like
does come in for Barrick, putting a little beef on the table here.
something's happening with Barrick's gear, maybe, not sure.
A run 19, we've seen this a lot. He comes around that C gap on the other side. He does cut up, and he gets about 7 on 3rd and 5.
1st down.
Taken down by Landon Johnson. It's going to be good for a Gig Harbor first down.
This Gig Harbor offense does a good job stretching the play. They make it look like a sweep, and then the tailback cuts it up inside the contain. And nice run for Gig Harbor there for 7 yards. 1st and 10 from the 17, I believe. Sorry. Yeah,
12.
17. The scoreboard's not correct.
Okay. You're right.
A tough run. I see bodies all over the place.
Takes it up the middle.
Uh-oh. 28, 7 out.
That's Wheeler. Wheeler's coming off again.
And nobody's going in here. Barrick
26, Barrick's back in. So we're playing a little bit of ring around the rosy at the linebacker position, but
with Kobe Johnson out, we're down a very good linebacker. First team all-conference player last year. He's out, and it looks like Wheeler will get looked at the table. Okay, big down here. Second and six from the 13. Toss play outside. Ball was
wrapped
juggled
up
by 2 and wrapped up by a pack of wolves. I believe that was 26.
26 would be
Devine
Barrick.
gets called for the tackle. I also think Barrick was there early on the legs. To play a team like this, you have to tackle legs. So I'm looking for the last guy getting up that was on the legs.
On the legs, yeah.
The sun is setting. You can see the shade coming on the field. The home fans, I'm sure, are happy. The visitors are looking straight in the sun. It is warm down on the field there. Okay, 3rd and 4, big down here. Hard count, and somebody jumped off sides. Couldn't tell if it was Eastlake or Gig Harbor.
I did not see any movement on Gig Harbor's line.
And that'll be a first down for Gig Harbor.
So
somebody on Eastlake.
They called a little encroachment on Eastlake, which is unfortunate.
It's going to be 1st and goal on the 6.
Gig Harbor will have the ball at the 5-yard line.
Gig Harbor switching strengths. This is an interesting call. And Steiner does adjust. Quick handoff to 8 up the middle. He bounces it outside. He's
Wrapped
hit
up
by
by
a
it.
pack at
Oh,
the
man.
4. They're going to get forward progress. Uh-oh. And the whistle was not blown. And guess who has it in his hands as he runs 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Miles Johnson. His 4th touchdown of the day, 2 by the ground, 1 in the air, and now 1 with a strip 96-yard touchdown for Miles Johnson.
That's Miles Johnson's first defensive touchdown of his varsity career.
That's going to be a highlight reel forever. That is amazing.
We don't know where the ball came from.
I thought
what
for
we know,
sure the forward progress was going to get called, but the ball must have been out.
Yeah.
4th touchdown of the day.
He is having a day. So we are going to try a PAT again.
Coach Hurd's looking for a ball.
That's important. As a kicker, you really like to have the right ball out there. Dave.
Jeremy, 2 huge stops for the Eastlake defense. Last drive, Gig Harbor drove down, had a penalty, and ran out of gas. This drive, inside the 5, looked like they were going to punch it in. And
It was-
the Eastlake defense with a
It
huge
was like
stop.
they were listening to you. Like, hey,
We
it'd be great
channeled
to have
it.
a touchdown or a takeaway.
Turnover, Nice snap, hold, and it's good, I think.
Oh,
yes,
there it
is. Good job, Nolan. Little low, but it made it through, and that is another point on the board that puts Eastlake ahead by 18 with 2:30 to go in the half. Jeremy, I'm pumped up right now. I feel like this is an evenly matched game. I give Gig Harbor credit. They are running the ball really well. We've just had 2 great stops, and Miles Johnson's just come alive.
Where that ball popped out, I don't know that anybody's going to know. Like, we can go back and look at that all we want. But what we do know is that Miles popped out with it, and he took it to the house.
Miles Johnson.
So what we also know is Miles is now looking again for an oxygen tank.
The good news is he's in the shade, and I would suspect he's getting a little water, taking a rest here.
36. Troy Baker checks in. Not sure.
Getting some help from senior Ethan Rogers. the same kickoff team, generally speaking, that we've seen today. Let's see if we can get a kick cover for once. Nolan Budish, the kicker, and a nice squib kick. It takes a bounce, fielded at the 30, and that is a fantastic kick.
Yeah. Take that all day long.
Fielded by number 10.
The other strategy as a former special teams coach is if you can't cover, kick it out of bounds and take it at the 40. That is a fine strategy, Dave. But I'll take it at the 30. Yeah, take it at the 30. So.
Okay, looks like Fang comes out. So Caden Eaton in the game at defensive end or D tackle. Looks like the Wolves.
And 64, here comes Finn. Budish in.
So Caden Eaton in for Paterno at D end. And then 3, Jacob Kim comes in at free safety for Miles. It does look like Barrick is back in the game. Wheeler has not gone back in. I'm looking for him on the sideline. Looks like he does have his shoulder pads off. Wheeler's got some ice down there. Handoff pass play, looking down the field. Waldron had a hand on him, 3 slips away, and Ort.
Helmet comes off.
It's going to be a.
Hayes gets his helmet knocked off.
Oh, that
It
was
looks
James
like it'll
Ort.
be a loss of 1. So
James Ort.
James will get credit for the sack coming from defensive end, as it'll be.
Well, it's going to be a gain of 9.
Sorry, gain of 9. I misread
Yeah.
that. Gain of 9.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 1 yard to go for the Tides.
Just in from Dale Young. We are the new Al Michaels and Madden
Good to hear
of
from you, Dale.
Eastlake. Dale, good to hear from you.
Run up the middle. 8 cuts it inside the A gap. Nice tackle there by Budish. That looked like a double. I'm not a wrestler, but what's the double leg fireman carry? He picked him up and knocked him right back down.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Led by number 8, Nolan Budish. Good for a.
That is
down.
how you tackle a team like this. All right, Fang
Clock
comes
continues
in.
to run.
Looks
154.
Waldron.
Waldron's coming out.
Big Daddy Waldron. He's one of my favorites. All right, play action pass. Eaton's pressure. No, he's not there. Ball's a duck. Landon Johnson is there, and they're going to throw a late flag.
But there is a flag on the play.
It looked to me that both players were going for the ball. They may call Landon for having a hand on the
I think
receiver.
he had a little push off as he was playing for the ball, but, you know.
It was a
again,
late flag.
Super late. Clock at 140 as we sort the penalty out.
Coach Hurd not happy about the call. He's standing on the 45-yard line with his hands up, looking for an explanation.
Call goes against Eastlake.
So it is a 15-yard penalty in high school. It's not a spot foul. So that'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line, and Gig Harbor's got new life on this drive.
First down for the Tides.
I think Gig Harbor's feeling the pressure of the Eastlake defense and the effectiveness they're having on the run. They're going to the air way more than they did last week. Way more than they want
Toss to this near side.
And he is going to be, I thought he was going to be eaten up
Jacob
right at the
Kim
line
and
of
Barrett
scrimmage.
had great pursuit. Nice cut up
Taken
there.
down by number 57, Jack Devine.
Jack Devine,
Big
the
Jack
junior
Devine, yeah.
two-way starter, played it
Good for
a lot of
gain
downs
67
last year
yards.
as a sophomore.
He started every game last year,
2nd and 3
Jack
for the
Devine.
Tides.
We're going to have a timeout.
Timeout, Gig
Tides, Gig Harbor.
So with a minute 20 to go, if Eastlake can get a stop here and go into the locker room up 18, I think Coach Hurd would be very pleased with the first half of this game.
Absolutely.
The Wolves will start the second half with the ball.
Yep.
And so if we can get a stop here effectively, this will be probably bring us to the end of the half.
And like you said, Dave, I mean, on paper, these teams are very, very equal. You know, I mean, they both have athletes. They both have their own independent style of offense and defense. But what we're seeing is a couple of key plays, and Eastlake has capitalized on those very successfully.
this Eastlake defense is a completely different look than we saw last week. Last week, Williams Field came out in largely a spread offense. It looks much like our offense. But as we mentioned, this Gig Harbor offense is really a run-based, heavy wing T or single wing run offense.
So Gig Harbor's bringing the play in. Got a wide receiver out on the far side. Steiner shifts down to the far side.
Quarterback stays low, hands to 19, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. Wilson Fang, Devine,
Dango,
and Bratlin all there.
Wilson Fang and Jack Devine.
Love to see the old combo of Wilson and Jack.
So glad
Exciting.
that Wilson's back. We missed him last week. He didn't suit up. He was banged up. And here Gig Harbor's running a hurry-up offense with 56 seconds. Fourth down, a quick run at the middle, and he does appear to get the first down. We got a scuffle going on here. Jack Snyder's helmet ripped off.
So on the last play, Jack and whoever he was blocking or defending against kind of scuffled in the backfield a little bit. And watched that happen. Looks like there was some words maybe, and maybe that has carried over to this play, but we'll see what they sort out.
I suspect this would be on both teams. It looked like there was
there's two
both
flags
of them
down.
going at it, but it was interesting that Steiner's helmet got ripped off, so that didn't happen by accident.
While we wait, let's little thanks to our production team. We're missing our production executive, Sean Crandall.
Sean, we miss you. Hopefully you're listening to us, Sean.
But we brought the OG in.
Jim Thatcher.
Jim Thatcher here helping us tonight.
Andrew Brill on camera to my right. Chris Hanchka on the left. We also have Sean Goldie up here helping, I think, with the fellow assist. He's not on the production team, but he's with us.
First down for Gig Harbor.
We got Mike Grant and Jacobson down there on the microphones.
I think Mike Grant's on the clock and the scoreboard.
First and 10 from the 28, 42 seconds. Quarterback.
Again,
Great fake. I thought the quarterback saw the ball.
Eastlake defense just relentless on the stop of the run.
Gig Harbor
again, hurry up, 26
now
seconds
watch a fake
left.
and they get outside here. Bratlin, stay home. Quarterback does fake and he does go outside, and that's Wilson Fang with the sack. Barrett Bratlin comes in late. Fang do. Jeremy, in youth football, you and I both had the pleasure to coach Wilson Fang, and we had a blitz called Fang Do.
Yes, we did.
I think we renamed it Gangster 43 at one point, but that was named by Fang. Good job, Wilson.
I think that's his first varsity sack.
Good
for Wilson.
job, Wilson.
That's exciting. Looks like we have a timeout.
15 seconds. And Gig Harbor did what we expected there. They pounded it up the middle, ran hurry up. The quarterback was going to keep it on some kind of bootleg, and Wilson Fang was not fooled. He was there. Barrett Bratlin there. Great job by the Eastlake defense.
I think there's going to be some discussions in the locker room with the Tides at the half to talk about what's happening and maybe what they are going to switch up. You know, they try to go to the air. That's not working for them. The run is...
They've been productive from the standpoint that they've gained yards.
Yep.
They had the fumble last series, and I'm sure there's frustration on their end, whether that was forward progress or not. It was we couldn't tell what happened, but it was a very long play when Miles pulled it out, but they were marching. In the prior series, they were marching and they shot themselves in the foot with a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
All right, so 15 seconds left. Miles Johnson's back at free safety, and Gig Harbor comes out in the spread offense. We're happy to see this. Landon Johnson, corner on the top. Bratlin, strong safety on the near side. Looks like Steiner.
15.5
seconds.
seconds.
Back, and Fang is there. Fang in the vicinity of a quarterback rush, and that'll bring up 12 seconds. Fourth down.
Jack Steiner on the coverage in the backfield.
I would have loved to see Finn Hanna pull that in and go to the house.
That would be a great way to end the first half, Dave.
Finn also missed last season, had a season-ending injury. So glad to have him back on this defense. He's a great athlete. Jacob Kim does sub in at corner here. So they're in the spread offense. This is what we want to see. This is not what they like to do.
12.2 left. They drop back.
Devine there, hits him!
Oh!
Sacked by
Jack
Jack!
Devine!
57, the junior, playing both ways, puts the sword.
Puts a stamp on the half.
Great job, Jack. Coach Hurd's got 7.9 and a couple of timeouts. What is he going to do here? Is he going to run the ball and get to the locker room, or are we going to let Barry Smith show off that honorable mention all-conference arm that he had from last year?
Who's that? 50. Brady Painter checks into the game.
Brady's playing right tackle as Finn stepped out. Okay, Hanska the far side. On the near side, we got Rogers and Kim and Ort. And looking to throw the ball. Quick pitch to Miles. And Miles looks to cut it up, gets a few.
That's going to bring up the half. A little bit of a shocker. 25-7 at the half.
Looks like Coach Hurd wanted to get another play off, but the clock expired during the play.
So, Dave, maybe I'll go see if I can hunt Jenny Johnson down. It might be a few minutes. We'll see, but I'll see if I can hunt her down and send her this way for an interview about Wolves Under the Moon.
Please do. Thank you. If you joined us late, I was late myself. This is David Oliphant with Jeremy Budish. I had a youth football game earlier today and came straight to the field. I was watching the YouTube broadcast on my phone as I jogged into the stands. I missed the opening kickoff in the first defensive series, but Eastlake playing very well, scored on every offensive possession, yet to punt the ball today, yet to turn over the ball today. And the defense has got stopped when they need them. It's been a bend but don't break type of defense. We'll pause here and mute the microphones so you can watch the Eastlake band as they show off their black and cardinal jerseys.
Please welcome the Eastlake Marching Band, led by drum majors Gwithlin, Pranav Tripathi, and Tanvi Iyer. They will be performing Happy by Pharrell Williams.
All right, here we are up at the booth. We'll take a look at the band, but I'm here with Jenny Johnson. Jenny is one of our leads for the WFA, the Wolf Football Association fundraiser we have coming up in a few weeks. You're also the mother of Miles Johnson and Maggie Johnson that are down on the field. Maggie's going to perform in a minute, so we'll get you out of there. But Miles has had quite the first half there, Jenny.
He has. Can you hear me? Is this thing on?
Is Jenny unmuted here? We're just checking it out.
Oh, I am.
We can hear you, Jenny. You're live.
It's been awesome. Yeah, it's been really cool.
That defensive touchdown was icing on the cake. So let's, real quick, you got to get down there and watch cheer here in a minute. But on October 4th, 5 p.m., $50 a person, get you in the door. That includes open bar, includes all-you-can-eat Jones barbecue.
Yeah.
But a host of games. I heard something about this today. It sounds really fun. Tell us about the games.
All right, so it's really fun. So you can buy tickets. You can buy different packages of tickets. One of the packages is $100. You get as many tickets as you want.
Okay.
You can play games like.
What do you do with the ticket?
Well, so the ticket, you got to go play a game, and there's like 7 games. So, for instance, one of the games you go and you throw against the quarterback, and if you get more throws into the circle than the quarterback, you win.
Okay.
And every time you win a game, you get your name on the leaderboard.
Okay.
And then for the leaderboard, at the very end, after an hour, you can play as many games as you want. There's 7 different games. There's granny pants and all sorts of stuff. We throw the ball and pants. The winners, 5 top winners on the leaderboard, they actually get to go up and play a trivia game. And there's buzzers and all sorts of stuff. Think like Ellen DeGeneres
in
games.
front of everybody.
In front of everyone.
Okay.
Trivia game. The winner of the trivia game is going to go to either Hawaii or Mexico for a 4 or 5 day trip. Yeah, that's the prize. So you want to play as many games as you can.
Let's go. Well, Jenny, the cheerleaders are taking the field here, so we'll let you go. Thanks for coming up.
No problem.
We hope Miles has just as good of a second half.
Thank you.
All right, we're back to the cheerleaders. Jeremy's back in the booth with us. Thanks to Jenny for sharing about those games. Can you believe that? A trip to Hawaii. So for a $50 ticket, you get a buffet, some drinks, some good people. I give credit to the production team here. I understand there were some audio challenges down on the field. There's a new AV system, and hats off to Sarah Goldie, our athletic director. Sarah's running around here tonight with a host of people. And this is our first look at the Eastlake dance team here at halftime.
I think, getting here before the game and watching the action, there's a lot of people. This is all volunteer organization, and so there's a lot of people that are doing jobs up here in the booth. Some that have done it before, some that have never done it. So, we got our production staff first time setting up a whole new rig here at the Woods, and so we were a little late to get online for our live stream tonight, but glad everybody's here joining us. Like I said, later in the week we'll get those videos posted of the interviews we did with the guys. I think some really good insight to some of the senior leaders on the team. So, but it's exciting.
Jeremy, if we just go back to the interview with the players, they were confident coming into this game, but you could tell there was a reality of last week that we got moved around on the line. We had some guys out. Brady Painter was out. Fang was out. And so coming into tonight, there was a focus that we had to be gritty. We had to be physical. And Gig Harbor came off a big win, as you talked about last week in the Fish Bowl. I think this Eastlake team's responded exactly how they wanted to respond. I'm very proud of their offense and the defensive line controlling the line of scrimmage. Not that we've dominated it, because Gig Harbor's got yardage, but what we talked to the players about is what we've seen tonight, and
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Well, and I think it sets a tone. To go down and play a Williams Field team in Southern California. Williams Field isn't known in Washington. Eastlake isn't known in Arizona. But to come home and start the first half 25-7 sends a message to the rest of the Washington State Football Association that Eastlake is here to play football this year. We're going to go down next week, Friday night, play a wing team that is super effective at it at Tumwater. But this is a good warm-up for that. Tonight is a great warm-up for that.
It'll be interesting from week to week what the Eastlake defense does differently. So obviously Tumwater and Bellevue will have film on us, how we're defending it.
And I know, and you know, I mean, both of us have seniors on the team. You know, they come home, they tell us some of the X's and O's, and we're not going to share that, but I do know what we did this week was different than what we did last week. You know, and you adjust to personnel issues that you have, so I agree. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Hurd does as we move to Tumwater next week. What we're seeing tonight is very effective against this Gig Harbor team.
Exciting performance by the Eastlake cheer team down here. These girls, mostly all, will end up in Orlando at Nationals in the winter, and we're fortunate to have them performing in front of us all season long.
I actually believe they're not going to Nationals.
This year they're not.
Because the state championship for cheer is that same weekend.
Ah,
and
okay.
So they've opted to stay home and defend their state title. They're 2 or 3 time.
I will note that the cheerleader front and center closest to us, that is Maggie Johnson, the twin of Miles Johnson.
So, yes.
Jeremy, as we took a break there and we're talking to Ginny, it was noticed that the quarterback, number 3, Sawyer Hayes, left the field in crutches at halftime. And so as we look into the second half, we may have a new quarterback, and that's unfortunate for Sawyer. He's a 6 foot, 195-pound sophomore. And
he plays both sides of the ball. He plays DB and quarterback for them. I mean, he is a athlete, and he will be missed by the Tides for sure in the second half if he's not able to go. And based on what we saw, it did not look like he was going to be ready to go. He had some ice on his leg and some crutches getting off the field. He didn't go to the locker room with the rest of the team. He was laid off the field, with the training staff. So, see what happens.
We wish the best for Sawyer, but it will be a different Gig Harbor team in the second half without him. Did get a note. Looks like Jackson Wheeler may be done for the day.
While they're getting set up, we want to remind you that our concession stands are open and located behind the home side.
Which is unfortunate. Jackson is a heck of an athlete. He is a hard-hitting defensive player. He's a key part of this Eastlake defense. And he's a tough kid. So for him to not be ready to go tells you that something's going on. We'll figure out what that is as we finish up this game and get into next week. And hopefully he can be back next week.
And I agree with you. Jackson is a outstanding linebacker. Excuse me, coming into this season with Colby Johnson coming back and Nolan Budish and some of the other seniors, we didn't know how much we were going to see him, but Colby here, second week in a row, sounds like he's out with a unspecified injury, and gave a chance for some new juniors to get some playing time.
And I think tonight what we saw, and I think we saw it because of some of the offensive strategies that Coach Hurd wanted to put in. We saw Wheeler and Barrick start at linebacker tonight. And I think, obviously we'll see Budish back in at linebacker a little bit more. The run-heavy offense that we're seeing with, H-backs and tight ends tonight obviously is effective. And when you got your running back running 40 or 50 yards, you need a little spell before you hop back on the field. So
what will be interesting in the second half, clearly Coach Hurd came in tonight wanting to run the ball, but up now 18 points and going to receive the ball. Is the Eastlake team going to work on their passing game a little bit? Normally when you've got the lead, you like to run the ball, grind on the clock, and get to your next game, but it would make sense with Miles already having 4 touchdowns to save his legs and move the ball around. So I'm looking forward to the second half. We did see Adam Barrick in at tailback also.
I was going to say we might see a little bit of Barrick. We might see a little bit of Steiner at tailback tonight.
Last week Jack Steiner played a half a dozen downs or so.
And he had 1 carry, but he was in for a half dozen or so plays total.
So we're looking at the Gig Harbor team taking the field. In fact, number 3 is on crutches, so that we will have a quarterback change. It's possible that last series, the quarterback that came in and threw, he didn't come in just to throw, that there was an injury there, but it looked like that he was the throwing quarterback. We kind of noticed that after the fact. There's a little bit of a breeze coming up here to the booth. I am not complaining about it.
No.
I'm standing behind my buddy Andrew Brill, and We've got the window open. We're standing right on the 48-yard line on the north end of the field, just offset. And we've got the windows open, and it's just a slight breeze coming in. It feels nice.
Looks like we got the drum line getting ready to fire up a little bit as we march down to under 2 minutes before we start the second half.
I love the drum line. Gig Harbor is out warming up with 1.5 minutes to go before the start of the third quarter. Eastlake has not yet taken the field. Not sure if that's a Coach Hurd strategy or if he's just spending a little extra time chatting with the boys.
So the real question I have, Dave, last week we came to the game. We spent the whole halftime up on the roof. But getting to the game last week, you and I drove a Mazda Miata. Tonight I didn't get to drive with you to the game. Did you have a Mazda as you sped here from Bellevue?
I drove as safely as I could at the fastest speed that I could coming from Bellevue to get up here. But I do miss the little Miata. I don't know that I want to own a Miata, but you and I barely fit in the Miata.
At one point, I'm pretty sure I didn't fit until we figured out how to recline the seat.
All right, here the Wolves are. Looks like senior leaders King, Kim, and Oliphant are bringing the team down. Also might get a look at J.R. Gill here with a little bit of a lead in the second half. It would be nice to see J.R. get some balls.
The plays that he has had have been effective.
Absolutely. Barry Smith's done his job. He's played great. He's completions to Ort. I think I missed one he had to Kim. He had a nice receiver screen to Hanska. And then, of course, the touchdown to Miles Johnson on a big third down. The momentum here, I'm not sure the score tells the story. I feel like that third down, the penalty, and the fumble, if those go the other way,
this is a different game.
This is a completely different game. This comes down to those three.
Yep. Quarterbacks are down below us warming up.
Number 6, sophomore Oliver Stiles warming up there.
Looks like he's tossing it back and forth with Arush.
Yeah, that's not Andre Swagger's number, so yeah, I think it's Arush.
Based on the red cleats, I would say that's Arush.
Sponsors to thank: Inspire Dance Academy, Precision Chiropractic, Dulce Lash and Skin, Seattle Search Group.
Shout out to our sponsors. We've got some great sponsors. One of them being the Pine Lake Ale House. They're about 600 yards behind us. I think they will be packed after the game tonight. Also, shout out to Kinson and Kinson Homes. Appreciate all that you do, Kinson and Kinson Homes, and Eastside and Seattle's Home Experts. Thank you for all of your years of support of the Eastlake football program, as well as other clubs and programs. Pine Lake Ale House has been a favorite of mine for years. I moved up on the plateau in 2004 and met some friends. I started coaching Eastlake youth football at that time, and that was where every single coach's meeting was. I've had many hamburgers and chicken fingers and nachos. They've got great food if you're hungry tonight, and healthy food. Salmon salad, you want it?
When we moved in 2017, it was the first restaurant I went to on the plateau because it's one of the few, but it is a great establishment, great atmosphere. Definitely support local sports, so it's great.
Thank you, Pine Lake Ale House, for being a sponsor.
6:14, the lights at the stadium just went on, so getting ready for the sun to set.
These were new LED lights last year. They're bright if you look directly into them, but they're different than the traditional, I think they call it HID lights. These turn on instantly. The old school lights, if you remember, they took 15 minutes to fire up. One of my favorite memories here, Eastlake versus Skyline. Eastlake had never beat Skyline. This was, call it 2010, 2011. And all of Eastlake Skyline existed. Skyline had dominated and varsity game. And Eastlake had a lead late in the game, and the lights went out with 2 minutes to go. And they figured out a breaker blew, but it took 15 minutes to fire them back up. And it was almost like, no, this isn't going to be the jinx. Right. And Eastlake did hold on to win. It was an amazing event, amazing win for Eastlake against Skyline that night. But I'm thankful that we have these new LED lights. These are first class, remind me of the Mariners field. And by the way, the Mariners are tied for first place.
Amazing. I heard they have some hocus pocus going on.
Some extra innings this week. It's been exciting. Okay, so Gig Harbor comes out to kick off. Eastlake does not have a kick return team on the field yet. The officials are calling for them.
Got about 10 seconds before the end of the halftime as the clock marches down.
The Gig Harbor Tides. I did not know their mascot until you educated me that on this week. Same folks we've seen all season returning so far. Landon Johnson, 23, and Chase Hanska back to receive. Both of them had a number of kickoff returns last week with the Williams Field touchdowns, but Landon had one
75
all the way down to the 10-yard line, and it would be great to see Landon take one. Here he is. Landon Johnson's got wheels. Watch number 23. Hanska leading with a block, and here Landon goes. We're just talking.
All the way up to the 35, 36-yard line.
I think he was 2 steps away from being gone.
There was a lot of traffic. He ran through a lot of it, and just 1 or 2 steps from breaking that for another big gain.
It'll be 1st and 10 Eastlake. Ryder Barry Smith in at quarterback.
Appreciate the text from the audience there. We'll get some mics adjusted. All right, Hanska on the near side, Ort in the slot, Kim in the slot up the top with Rogers, Miles Johnson in the backfield with Barry Smith. Hard count, handoff right up the middle of Miles. They had him in the backfield for a 1-yard loss, and as usual, Miles slips through for a 4-yard gain. It almost feels like Gig Harbor knows that it's coming, and they're doing what they can to stop it, but Miles is just good.
He is. It's very similar to last week with the running back from Williamsfield. We knew they were going to give it to number 9, and number 9 got the ball and ran it right at us.
11, Ort on the line of scrimmage. There, quick screen to Hanska. Hanska does have it wrapped up, and Hanska breaks free, and Chase Hanska gets across midfield, down, thrown out of bounds at the Gig Harbor 47. Great play by Chase Hanska, showing off his strength and athleticism. He is listed at 6 foot 190, but I would tell you that Chase is one of the strongest players pound for pound. I thought he was wrapped up, and Chase broke that first tackle and picked up a huge Eastlake first down. Great job, Chase. Okay, Mason King split out to the top. Kim and Ort also in the slot. Hanska on the near side. Barry Smith and Johnson in the backfield. Barry Smith looks to throw to Hanska on first down, and he gets
right at the 40.
Pitch and catch. Barry Smith talked to us about this. They said, what did you learn at Williamsfield about the passing game? And he said, it's just
go on, play catch.
Go on, play catch. And right there, this is that passing offense we talked about where Coach Hurd's got some interesting reads, and that showed some summer chemistry right there to me.
Absolutely.
Barry Smith knew exactly what Hanska was going to do. I suspect that was a read route with the corner playing off deep, and the Eastlake offense is marching.
The receiving core is great athletes. Chase, Jacob, Estes, Ethan.
Barry Smith looks to throw again on second, goes deep over the middle. Just over the reach of Hanska. I don't think he could have caught it. It was good coverage by the corner. 3 plays in a row, Coach Hurd calls Hanska's number.
So Ethan Rogers checks into the game. Looks like we're seeing 21 Mason King check out. Yeah, Mason King had a heck of a game last week. A couple of really gritty receptions. Ort at the slot on the far with Kim. Rogers up top. Hanska at the near side. Johnson in the backfield offset. Barry Smith hard count. Fakes to Johnson. A dump throw, and Kim catches it. Turns it upfield inside the 20 for another Eastlake first down.
Barry Smith did not look like he had his hand all the way on the ball. He just got rid of it. Coach Ort would refer that as a pineapple express right down the middle. But Kim catches it for a huge Eastlake gain. I'm not knocking Barry Smith. I think on the play action, the ball just wasn't in his hands well, and he made an excellent throw exactly where it needed to be. I've heard Peyton Manning say, I don't care if it's a spiral. I've thrown plenty of touchdowns that were ducks, and that was a beautifully placed ball there by Barry Smith. Kim motions after catching the last ball. Barry Smith looks to Hanska, pump fakes to Kim. Jacob Kim in the end zone. Oh! Great ball by Barry Smith, and Kim was in the right spot, used his body to position himself away from the corner. I thought he was going to come down with that in the corner of the end zone.
So that was a great ball.
Coach went to Hanska 2 plays in a row. Now he's going to Kim 2 plays in a row. His third time a charm here. Well, we talked about Eastlake coming out throwing the ball, and that's what we've seen. And I got to say, it's kind of fun to watch. Not that I miss watching Miles, but this is a nice mix-up. Okay.
2nd and 10.
Budish at wingback, Ort at tight end, King at the top, Hanska at the near side, Miles in the backfield, handoff to Miles, following Budish, and here he goes. Miles gets down. Looks like he'll be spotted right about at the 10-yard line. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 1 from the 10.
Again, the line doing a great job. The blocking backs doing a great job. Miles doing what he does.
If you joined us late, Miles Johnson has all 4 touchdowns. We've had a couple of PATs block. Once we went for 2 and didn't get it, we made 1. And Eastlake will be spread. King, Ort, and Budish to the far side. Johnson offset to Barry Smith. Hanska at the near side. And a quick pitch to Miles, and he's got tons of room to run. Cuts it up. Miles inside the 2. I'm kind of surprised Miles went down. I thought he was going to spider crawl into the end zone.
Brings up a first down.
And we do have
10:05 left in the third.
Gig Harbor player down on the field. We'll take a injury timeout here.
I don't have a number 1 on the roster, but Ethan Trader.
So going back to the first half, Miles scored 2 by the ground. He scored 1 in the air, and he recovered somehow a strip fumble recovery for 95-plus yards for a touchdown. And now here with 10:05 to go in the third quarter, Eastlake's marching, and a touchdown here would put this game into 4-score distance. Hopefully just a cramp down here for the Gig Harbor player. You got a lot of familiar faces up here. My buddy Chris Hanska on one of the cameras. I'm sure he's pumped to see his son Chase with some great plays this drive. The game plan clearly was to run the ball in the first half, but coming out the second half, Barry Smith has been dialed in. 1 incompletion in the, he overthrew 1 to Hanska. Kim had 1 drop, so 2 incompletions, but good passing game here this drive.
Help out number 1, Ethan Trader off the field.
I just noticed this. This, I guess, is a sportsmanship thing. The students all took a seat during the injury timeout. As the player left the field, they stood back up. So
I like it.
Kudos to the Eastlake student section for recognizing that. Handoff to Johnson, and he gets, I think he's in the end zone. They didn't mark it, though. They're going to call him down at the 1. I thought he got in with forward progress, but Coach Hurd looking to give him his 5th of the day. Miles Johnson, we talked about it last week. He's a Division I lacrosse commit to Towson University. Selfishly, I love football. I'd love to see Miles play college football, but he is a D1 lacrosse commit. He's a defensive middie on the Eastlake lacrosse team, which won the state championship this year. Jeremy, a 4A state championship.
There's a handful of those guys on this squad. We got
handoff to Johnson up the middle, follows his blockers.
There it is.
And the hands go up. Number 5 for Miles Johnson.
So that's 4 offensively, 1 defensively for Miles tonight.
Miles Johnson's father, Justin Johnson, an alumni of Bellevue, will be fun when we tee off later in the year. Justin wore number 42 at Bellevue, was an excellent running back there, and also had a couple other brothers that played. But Miles is a Eastlake Wolf, following his mother was an alumni of Eastlake.
Pax Jacobson doing the snapping.
Place hold is good, and Budish pounds it through the uprights to tack one more on, and Eastlake is up 32-7 early in the third quarter. A little different feeling than when we were down in Southern California last week, Jeremy.
I'm feeling it, indeed.
Shout out to a couple of
So as we get ready to see a kickoff from the Wolves, some of the Eastlake cheer sponsors: Inspire Dance, Precision Chiropractic, Duluth Lash and Skin, Seattle's Search Group, Hensel Phelps, Cheryl Hill with Compass Real Estate, Studio B Portraits, Premier Mechanical and Electrical, Seattle Yachts, Dale Carnegie, Amy Bartlett and Lori Bauermeister Real Estate, and Glow Airbrush Tan, all sponsors of the Eastlake Cheer Program.
If we mispronounce any of that, apologies. We need a little education on the pronunciation of some of the Eastlake Cheer sponsors. All right, Budish to kick off. Budish playing wingback, tight end, middle linebacker, kicker, both at the PATs, and now the kickoff. A nice squib kick. I like this. This is hard to field. Fielded by 19, who is one of the main running backs. He's a very patient runner. Gets it out across the 35-yard, right at the 35-yard line.
There we go. That'll work. Wilson West.
Okay, so we're going to see a different Gig Harbor team. Quarterback is out of the game.
Let's see who we can get in at the quarterback position.
Eastlake defense look like we've got the same folks that are out there. Caden Eaton in at defensive end on the far side.
Number 18, Sal Nuya.
Budish is in at middle linebacker, as is Miles Johnson at free safety. Ball's down on the ground. It looks like Barrett Bratlin caused the fumble, or it was juggled and Barrett knocked it loose. And we've got an Eastlake cramp on the field. Looks like Caden Eaton is helping out one of his teammates.
So number 18, Sal Nuya, is in at quarterback. I think what I read when I was doing some research for this game is Sal and number 3 competed for the quarterback position this year. Sir Hayes won it out, but it looks like, I would guess that Sal's a good quarterback for them.
We talked a little bit about the heat. We got some warm-up to this last week in SoCal, and even though it's in the 70s, when this game started down on the field and the players were warming up, it was close to 80 degrees, and the turf adds 10 to 15, and these are not unusual cramps. So we had 2 players down. I saw 35, Brady Vandermeed checks in, the sophomore, on the defensive line for his first career varsity snaps that I'm aware of. He may have been on special teams, but I believe this is his first defensive snaps.
And again, student section sitting.
Very respectful of them. Jeremy, we've had 2 Saturday night games in a row. We played last week down in Southern California in Orange County, and Saturday night, and here we are tonight. We haven't had the Friday night lights yet.
No, next Friday will be our first Friday night lights down in Tumwater.
We will be down in Tumwater next week.
I think we play one more Saturday night game. We play Bellevue on a Saturday night at Bellevue.
So just talking about the schedule, we've got Tumwater next Saturday or Friday night at Tumwater, then home against Woodinville here, and then our favorite local frenemies, Skyline up the hill, will be October 3rd at Skyline. And then home against Mount Si, away against Bellevue on a Saturday night, and then home against Bothell here to wrap up the regular season.
Looking at some scores, it looked like Skyline lost last night against Tahoma.
Indeed. Handoff to 21, goes on the far side. He's wrapped up for a gain of about 1.
That's Max Schwab on the carry for the Tides. We haven't seen much of him tonight, but they're trying to figure out how to mix it up a little bit.
Eastlake defense.
57,
Jack Devine just came off the field.
Looks like Jack's got some calf cramps going on here.
Or got
Jeremy, last year, Coach Hare, the Eastlake coach, didn't warm up.
No.
He would come to the field. Great tackle for a short gain. Vandermeed was there. Finn Waldron was there. Packables and Gig Harbor is going 3 and out with their first possession of the second half. This is a great sign if you're an Eastlake fan.
Yeah. And that was their stud running back, had 192 yards last week.
And guess who's
carries.
Guess who's back to? Guess who's back? Vopone comes out.
66 came out.
Miles
quick.
Johnson back to return. If Miles can somehow get to the house here, this would be his 6th of the day. By
double hat trick, they call that.
By the 4th different means. Snap is good. The punter fields it, gets it off quickly. There is coverage. Miles looks like he's going to try to
He fair caught it.
catch a fair catch. Nice catch.
Yeah.
Fair catch.
I didn't see him wave, and I thought he was going to pull some of his antics.
I saw
there.
he waved. He waved early. He waved quick. There was obvious pressure coming.
Miles can handle the pressure. That is a nice fielded ball under the lights here as the sun sets. Beautiful night in Sammamish, Washington. For the Eastlake Wolves here with their new black jerseys. This is the first time they've worn these jerseys, and the white pants matching the white out in the student section.
Yep. I am a fan of the all black. But
all right, Ethan Rogers on the far side. Kim and Hanchka on the near side. Budish is in the backfield, wingback. Hand off to Miles. He cuts it back, and looks like they're going to call a holding penalty
About 10 yards.
from behind the play. It was a little bit late, but there were some white jerseys on the ground, and Eastlake will have a 1st and long. Holding on the offense. Should be a 10-yard spot foul. Should bring up 1st and 18. Let's see where the officials march the ball from.
looks like they're on the 40, so that would be roughly 1st and 18.
Spot ball to 30 after the penalty.
And it'll be
1st and 17.
17.
Yeah.
1st and 17.
I'll note Brady Painter, 50's in the game, his back's towards us. So good to see him on the field. Older brother Andrew Painter was an outstanding player for Eastlake. His dad Darren Painter is the VP of the WFA, and mother Ginger also a member. Miles motions, they throw it to Miles, and Miles being chased down by a defensive lineman.
Looks like he gets really close to the marker.
Another flag on the play on the 35-yard line on the far side.
Riggs Holland and Clinton.
That's in the vicinity of either another holding penalty or possibly some kind of face mask. I didn't see, but Eastlake is going backwards. So it looks like we will have a 1st and
27
long. The flag's down on the 35, so if they march it off from the 35, if it's a holding penalty, that would spot the ball on the 25. This would be about 2nd and 22.
Holding on Eastlake.
Sorry, 1st and 22.
25.
So it's still 1st down, but with back-to-back holding calls, Eastlake has got some work to do to get the sticks moved. Miles isn't going to get any credit for yards from that last play, but it was an exceptional run after the catch, evading tacklers. Okay, Budish is split out wide in the slot. Looked for a receiver screen to Hanska here. Nope, receiver screen to Kim.
Oh,
and
great.
Kim gets a few.
5-6 yards on that play.
We haven't seen Nolan line out in the slot like that very often, and he's a great blocker. Nolan comes in weighing 106, 185, but I think he weighs more than that. Jeremy, you tell me, but he plays bigger than that, that's for sure.
Just depends on how much he eats.
Okay, we've got King and Kim to the far side, Budish in the backfield, Hanska on the near side, Johnson's behind Barry Smith. Nice snap, Barry Smith gives it to Miles. Miles bounces it outside here to the weak side. And Miles wisely steps out of bounds. No need for Miles to get blown up tonight. And we've got another cramp on the field. Gig Harbor defender down. That looks like number 2.
John Gerl?
Johann
Gerl?
Johann Gerl. Maybe that's a German name.
For the concession stand, it will be closing at the end of the
Said that way, I would agree, Dave. So that brings up third and roughly 9.
We haven't talked enough about the Eastlake coaches. Coach Greg Hurd, you and I had a chance to sit down with him last week. If you're looking for an interview with Coach Hurd, it was played during the pregame last week. Go check that out on YouTube. And defensive coordinator, first-year coordinator here at Eastlake, Coach Hutt, they call him, Christian Hutton. And a host of other new assistants, Ron Jones, Cody Clark, Eastlake alumni, Eric Plummer. We love Coach Plummer, DJ Poolade, and also assistant Dylan Jacoby. Love having all the new assistants that are down there.
And shout out to Coach Hutton. I mean, you know, what he has done tonight with this defense has been impressive.
And I have a feeling Coach Hurd had a hand in that as he ran the wing, but Eastlake has done great. Barry Smith play action, looking deep to Hanska. He underthrows it, and that's intercepted. Hanska's in trail. And Painter with the tackle, but it's a little late on the interception. Painter's going to get flagged for a late hit. I do like seeing an offensive lineman get a tackle on a pick like that. Hanska had some separation. Barry Smith unfortunately underthrew it after the play action. I don't know if he got rid of it as quick as he would have liked. Okay, new player checking in the game, 88. That is Jim E. Reed, James Reed at defensive end. Jimmy was gone. He was very sick in the preseason and didn't have enough practices, so he did not get to play last week. So these are Jimmy Reed's first varsity snaps of the year.
Down at the 32, it's first and 10, Gig Harbor.
Jimmy's a great athlete. Jimmy, this summer for 7-on-7, played some middle linebacker. He's also played tight end, and here he's playing defensive end. Handoff to number 8. Steiner was there first, didn't get him down.
Steiner had a shoulder tackle.
It looks like Steiner did end up getting on his legs there at the end. Barrick also in the vicinity.
Adam Barrick made the tackle.
Jack Steiner, another one of the Eastlake lacrosse players on the squad, one of the key defensive players. Okay.
Indeed, I think Jack will be looking to play college lacrosse or college football, whatever he wants to do. He's good at both. Play action. Looks like we're going to have a pass here. And it is completed in the flats. And Finn Hanna's down on the field holding his calf, and that's going to be a Gig Harbor touchdown. Unfortunate play. Finn cramped up during the play. The Gig Harbor receiver was wide open and was able to evade Eastlake defenders and get in the end zone. A lot of cramps tonight, more than we saw last week. I'm a little bit surprised.
I agree.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how about a big
We need to talk to El Presidente about some electrolytes for the squad.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we won't play in much more hot weather. This is probably the end of it, but we've seen it on both sides, Gig Harbor and Eastlake. I don't think our teams would be I don't think we'd do very good in the Southeast. If we flew down to Alabama, I think we would struggle. We would have to play at midnight.
Yeah.
These cramps are not unusual early in the season for hot football games, but we've seen more tonight than we did last week, and that play, Finn looked like he was sniped mid-play. Normally we don't talk a lot about injuries, but it's obvious these are just calf cramps from hydration or sodium or potassium, whatever is going on in their body.
Coming up.
So let's see, who checked in for Finn? I see Landon Johnson in the game at one corner, and Jacob Kim checks in the game for Finn. Jacob playing both sides of the ball. Jacob cramped up last week, and these guys are playing a lot of downs. Temperatures dropped, but the damage was done in the heat earlier. It's still 72 degrees out. So Gig Harbor will go for 2, try to cut this to a 2-score game. This is a very big play. If Eastlake gets a stop, it keeps this as a 3-possession game with a 19-point spread. Quarterback under center. Quick handoff to 8 up the middle. He's hit by a pack of wolves, and he's not going to get in. Buddhist celebrating. And the last wolf to get up is 27, Barrett Bratlin. Great job, Barrett.
That was a lot of wolves, Dave.
Barrett was not the first one there. There was a host of folks. That's just physical football right there. Great job by everyone on the defense. So that stop keeps this to a 19-point lead, which is three scores, 3 possessions. Sorry, even 15 points would have been a 17-point spread, so it still would have been a 3-score game.
So Eastlake's going to get the ball back.
Proudly invites you to this season's ultimate community fundraiser.
Line up and be ready to receive the kickoff from the Tides. 4:53 left in the third.
We might see some new folks on the field with some of the cramps we're dealing with. We got Blake Pichar still up front. Gideon Birchfield, Bratlin, and Rory. Number 10, Doshi, and I believe Fang in the fullback position there, and our same kick returners we've seen. And an onside kick will go out of bounds. Eastlake
should
will have
get that at the 40.
The option to take it at the 40 or make them re-kick, and I think Eastlake will take it. The ball will be placed on the far hash.
Not going to lie, a little nervous watching that ball kind of bounce around on the Eastlake side of the field.
So the rule, Jeremy, I was misunderstood. Looks like the ball went out of bounds at the 37, and the 5-yard penalty is tacked on to the end of that. So Eastlake will take over at the 42. King, Kim, and Hanchka in the game at receiver. Orts at tight end. Miles still in the backfield, and Miles gets the ball. And here he goes! Hanchka's got a good block downfield, and Johnson almost making it too easy, goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line, not looking to take a hard hit.
Looks like Jack Devine's coming out with another cramp maybe.
And a huge run again for Miles Johnson.
Taking a look at the replay on the stream.
I'm trying to do the math. That was a 30-plus yard run there. Jim Ort, our WFA Wolf Football Association president. We interviewed him last week. Doing a great job. He's running around here in the booth tonight, helping out. His son, James Ort, scored his first varsity touchdown last week in a play-action play.
It's the first Wolves touchdown of the season.
And the ball comes back to Johnson. Miles carries
Johnson, he's brought down.
3 defenders.
No gain, it looks like.
66, Peyton Howard led the tacklers.
The clock rolls down, 4.5 to go in the third.
No gain on the play, it's 2nd and 10.
Who's in at line, Dave, that Divine's out?
Oh, sorry, 78 on the left guard there. That's a Logan Karch in the game. Screen pass to Hanska. Ball thrown behind him. He evades the defender. Hanska gets a few. Upended inside the 25 down to the 22.
Brought down around the 22.
Great job by Chase. I don't think that was exactly where Ryder wanted to put the ball, and Chase was able to make something out of nothing there. Bring up 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Hanska just got his legs taken out and
3rd and 6.
did a cartwheel, and
Chase is kind of a running back body out there at receiver. When he gets the ball in his hands, he runs strong. Okay, Ort in the slot on the near side, Kim on the far, King and Hanska out wide, Johnson in the backfield, Barry Smith. Play action of Miles, looks to throw to the end zone to Ort, and there was some extracurricular contact. I was looking for a flag, but ref calls that incidental.
Barry Smith got a little bit hurried on that one.
Good defense by Gig Harbor there. The defender on the slot, James Ort, was right there. So 4th and 6. Looks like we're going to go for it. Jeremy, what do you drop here? Do you put the ball in Johnson's hands? Do we go to the air?
That's a great question, Dave. I think I would give it back to Johnson based on the production tonight.
Jacob Kemp, or just have Barry Smith bark like he's done all year. Coach may call a timeout here. He does.
Okay.
So
There was some movement. I guess they're saying they didn't encroach, but I saw there's a flag in the backfield. That ref in the backfield just picked up his flag.
Oh, interesting.
And shoved it back in his pocket. So he saw the movement that I saw, I would guess. But they're going to let the Tide live to play another day.
The rule there is a little tricky because if the defense moves and causes the offense to move, it's a penalty. But there's also the neutral zone infraction if they don't come in, and it's a little bit of a gray area. If the defense just jumps. They're not always going to call that.
Yep, agreed.
So glad to be back home tonight with this Eastlake Stadium that's mostly packed on the near side. The student section here came out on Saturday night. Great.
Darren Painter joining us in the booth tonight. Hello, Darren.
Darren, so exciting to see Brady out there. Brady at right tackle right now. And fake to Miles. Barry Smith looks to the end zone. Hanska's there.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Chase Hanska. Barry Smith gets to the house. Chase was wide open. It wasn't Barry Smith's most beautiful ball, but it was exactly where it needed to be for Chase Hanska's first career varsity touchdown. I've coached Chase since he was in first grade in flag football, all the way through youth. He's my son's very good friend, and I am very happy that he just scored a touchdown.
Into attempt the extra point. Kim holding.
Well, good call by Coach Hurd there on 4th and 6.
I would have lost my money if I bet on that. Another PAT good.
And that's 3 in a row, Jeremy. We've tightened up the special teams a little bit. Started out a little rough, but we've got it dialed in, and that takes the lead to 39.
Got
Eastlake
aiming fluid going, Dave, on the PATs. Sometimes when you change those personnel up, you gotta calibrate a little bit.
And you mentioned the timing. The timing
is huge. I mean, Jacob has never held for Nolan. They worked through it this week in practice, but game time is a different scenario for sure.
And Gig Harbor had some great pressure off the edges and up the middle, but the last 3, Eastlake able to shore up the leaks on the field there, and the Eastlake kickoff team will take the field. They've had a lot of work today. Eastlake was up 25-6 at half and has put 2 scores on the board here in the second half. Gig Harbor did score last drive.
It's nice to see somebody else getting a touchdown too. I mean, I love Miles, but to see Chase get his first varsity touchdown, super exciting. We'll see what we do on the kickoff. Little shenanigans again. Or maybe we're going to kick it deep. Kicking it deep tonight has not been super effective
you're right.
for us.
The squib kicks have been super effective. I expect to see that again. And here we go. Nolan has got that down. Then 24 falls down.
Yeah.
So that is just as good as a tackle at the 27-yard line. The nearest Wolf, I think, was Hanska. We'll give him the tackle. I think we
Touchdown, tackle.
We'll give Budish the tackle there for the kick. My youngest son is a ball boy tonight. Him and his buddy Gavin Ungst are down on the field.
They came from the game.
They came from the game. Gavin, I think, ran for a couple touchdowns today for the sophomores, and Cameron had one touchdown for the Cubs today. We came up short against a very good Bellevue team. Okay, here Gig Harbor comes out, gets set quickly. Budish still in the game at linebacker. Quick handoff to 19 up the top. He's hit hard by Steiner. And then here, Jimmy Reed, number 88, with his first tackle of the season. Nice tackle by Jimmy.
88, James Reed made the tackle.
It's exciting to see Jimmy contributing in on the game. Like I said, missed him last week.
Jimmy's another one of those players we've coached since third grade in youth football, coming up through the ranks, and missed the first game, but we're glad to have him back tonight. He's an impact player.
I hear Jimmy's coming back to lacrosse this year, too. I
love it.
We're on the street.
Outside run here, and Jimmy sets the edge just like he's supposed to do. Budish gets credit for the tackle, but Jimmy Reed absolutely set the edge there.
Yeah, if everybody does their job, it works like that, right? I mean, Jimmy sets the edge, guy has to squirt in, and makes it easy for the linebackers to go pick up the trash, if you will.
Down to 38. That'll bring a third and about 4.
Ball's on the ground. I don't see anybody pointing. Looks like that's going to bring up 4th and 4 for the Tides.
My guess is we'll see a punt, but
I just need Big Daddy Ort around here.
that'll bring up 4th and 4 for
it's exciting.
All right, here we go. Gig Harbor's coming up. Look for them to bark a hard count here, try to draw us off sides. It's a run to 19, who's been an effective runner all night, and he does pick up the first down. Steiner, I think, gets credit for the tackle, but he was the one that got ran over there. That was a nice run by 19 for Gig Harbor, who is
Wilson West.
Wilson West, very good runner. Wilson's had the ball a lot tonight. So Volpone comes out. Looks like he's shaking off something, and Caden Eaton comes in the game. So you got Paterno, Waldron, Eaton, and Reed in the game on the D-line.
Ball's at the 41, 1st and 10, Gig Harbor.
Barrick and Budish at linebacker with Miles Johnson right behind him. Pass play here, down the field, Miles.
Down.
We've been waiting to call this. Ryder Paterno, who is 6'5",
210.
gets a batted pass.
Knocks the pass down.
Ryder Paterno is somebody that is also a senior, hasn't played any varsity football or any high school football, right?
Yeah, great job by Ryder. I think you're correct. That is his first varsity batted ball, and as a 6'5" D end, we hope he gets a lot of those this season. Eastlake's got some height at defensive end. With Jimmy Reed in the game, Jimmy checks in at 6'5", Ort 6'4", Paterno 6'5", so that's tough to throw over for these quarterbacks.
It's a heck of a basketball team.
End around here, number 9 has the angle, and Jimmy Reed, just enough jersey, is gonna bring up a 3rd and 1. If Jimmy doesn't grab jersey there, that's definitely a first down. Great effort by Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy's second tackle of the drive.
Midfield.
I'm looking at my phone. The Mariners here in the bottom of the first have taken a lead 2-0. We're all following Cal Raleigh's records.
That's the end of the third quarter.
There we go. Third quarter expires. I'm going to march off into the fourth quarter as we get reset.
Well, this fourth quarter will be exciting, Jeremy. I think we'll see some new Wolves in the game. We've had a few banged up and cramps and whatnot, but Coach Hurd's moved the ball around well. In the third quarter, much more passing than we saw in the first half, although Miles still had probably 50 yards rushing in the third quarter. Whoever's doing stats tonight's got their hands full there.
For sure. I'm going to have a busy week filling out our player cards, so there's a lot of production for sure. Let's take a minute and say thank you again to our sponsors, Kinson and Kinson Homes, a longtime Eastlake football sponsor, and Pine Lake Ale House.
Come join us at the Pine Lake House. Even if you're at home watching, I think if you beat the crowd there, you could be the first one with a cold beverage or a burger in hand and celebrate what we think is going to be our first win of the season here.
Send Dave and I a text. Let us know you're heading that way, and we'll tell you what kind of beer we like.
All right, so seeing if we've got any new Wolves in. It's third and short here. Quick dive right up the middle, and he will have the first down.
Wilson West up the middle.
Finn Waldron.
About 2 yards.
Finn Waldron with the tackle.
So I think Wilson West is kind of the remaining effective Gig Harbor players. So they're really relying on his production right now to carry the team.
And that's going to get enough for a Gig Harbor first down.
The clock will roll here in the fourth quarter, 11 and a half to go in the game. Gig Harbor still with their run-heavy offense. Looks to have a heavy right set to the near side here, and they do toss it to the near side. Budish gets the first arm on him, slips through, and leans forward. Miles Johnson's in, Barrick's in, Budish is in.
Somebody is stretching out on the field. I can't see the number. That's 86. And not 86.
Second and 5.
Heavy on the near side again. Another toss or maybe a misdirection. It's a run right up the middle. 25 runs into his own player, Jimmy Reed.
Bring up third down, 3rd and 1.
Good play by Jimmy Reed.
Yeah.
Jimmy just stood up the offensive lineman. The tailback 14 ran into his own blocker. And Paterno with the tackle. Good job, Ryder.
It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Tides.
Run right up the middle, wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by Paterno. Great job.
It's enough for the first down. Got a yard or two on that.
Did get the first down. I was celebrating Ryder's tackle, but it is a Gig Harbor first down.
Lucas Lewis takes it up the middle. Good enough for a Gig Harbor first down.
Gig Harbor steadfast with their heavy run set, and it is a handoff. 21 is swallowed up by Caden Eaton.
Max Schwab from Gig Harbor.
Landon Johnson was also there, but Caden Eaton, I believe, with his first tackle of the night. And Steiner is now cramping. We're talking about hydrating, Jeremy. This is my 4th water since we've been up here. I was down on the turf myself earlier, and 32 Rory Johnson checks in the game for Eastlake. The junior. This will be Rory's first time on the defensive side of the ball. Gig Harbor comes up. It'll be 2nd and 15 here after the tackle for loss.
Flag on the play.
Offsides on Eastlake. It looks like 32 Rory his first play out there might have been lined up in the neutral zone.
Against Eastlake. Looks like it's going to be outside.
But Dave, it'll be nice to get back in kind of the normal swing of things, a normal game week. Come back out on Monday to watch some film, do some light stretching. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, kind of normal practice. And Thursday will be their walkthrough, and then Friday they'll head down south for the game. So kind of getting that normal work week rhythm for the boys.
Handoff right up the middle, 25. Gig Harbor pounds forward for about 5. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4, maybe 3rd and 3 for the Tides.
Second Gig Harbor players down.
Steiner's coming back in. That's a good sign.
Another injured Gig Harbor player on the field. Injury timeout.
I mean, really on both sides of the ball tonight, the story of the injuries has been the cramps, for sure.
We did have the Gig Harbor quarterback. He's on crutches on the other side, and Jackson Wheeler also some kind of shoulder injury. Be great to get Colby Johnson back, the all-conference linebacker, commit to Colorado. Misses a second game tonight. Estes Oliphant checks in the game for his first defensive snaps of the evening, number 2. My son.
So you know him.
Looks like he'll be at corner on the near side for Jacob Kim. 3rd and short, this could be a play-action scenario. Motion 7, handoff right up the middle. Number 2 bounces outside, and a pack of Wolves there. Looks like Budish was the first one there.
In the backfield.
Nolan Budish has had a great game. He's been busy. He's your son, so you can't talk him up so much, but I will. He's played great tonight.
Looks like he wants to think about having a cramp, too. I bet tonight when he gets home, he's going to put on his recovery boots and all his other gear that we have at the home for recovery.
I've never heard it phrased that way. That's hilarious. I hope he's all right. That was a great tackle.
But he has been busy tonight.
Gig Harbor heavy on the right, near side. Quick handoff right up the middle again. They're just pounding the ball. They do get the first down on 4th. The official calls the ball down. That'll be another first down for Gig Harbor. 32, Rory Johnson comes away with the ball. Now the ball carrier is down.
Another Gig Harbor player down.
We'll take a injury timeout here.
Number 8, Ian Shear. He was the stud last week, 192 yards, 28 carries, 3 touchdowns. So he has not been as effective tonight. We've seen a lot more of Wilson West, but he's obviously one of their good guys. It looks like
If you joined late, the game started out, Gig Harbor had the ball on offense. Eastlake got a stop and then scored every possession of the first half. Miles Johnson by the ground twice, once by the air, and then Miles also had a defensive touchdown, a 95-plus yard fumble recovery, and that took us to halftime. It was 25-6 at half. Eastlake did have 2 PATs blocked and went for 2 once and didn't get it. And then here in the second half, Eastlake started with the ball, first drive, and drove right down and scored. Miles got his 5th touchdown of the night on a short run behind the, I'll say the gritty O-line with Vopone and Waldron and great center play also tonight by Paxton Jacobson. They just run right up the middle for Miles' 5th touchdown. And then Gig Harbor did answer, scored in the 3rd. And then last drive, Barry Smith led them down. Miles had a long run, and then Barry Smith on 4th down hit Hanchka for I believe it was a 35-yard touchdown. And Hanchka had his first touchdown of the season. That was Barry Smith's 2nd of the night by air, 4th of the season. He had 2 last week.
Yep.
And nice to see Barry Smith connect with some of those receivers. Jacob Kim with a couple of catches. And Hanchka, I suspect, with that touchdown, the leading receiver tonight. Jacob Kim did have one very close ball in the corner of the end zone. I thought he might get in, but he didn't. Right.
So through last week, Miles Johnson had 9 touchdowns career varsity. Tonight,
5. Holding, it looked like, at the center position. Ball's over the middle. Nearly picked off by the Eastlake secondary.
flag on the play.
2 players were in position. There's a flag on the play. The nose tackle got tackled by the center.
Ball was nearly picked off by number 27, Barrett Franklin.
That flag was deep in the backfield, though. That's usually not where a holding penalty comes from, but we'll see what the call is here.
The officiating staff is having a conference down on the 10-yard line. Looks like they called holding.
And it's going against Eastlake Walls.
Interesting. The flag was thrown in the vicinity of a middle linebacker. The pass was thrown to the split end, I believe, on the far side, but it was some kind of defensive holding on Eastlake, and that will bring up 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line.
Ball is spotted 13-yard line, which gives
7:07 left in the 4th.
7:07 remaining in the game.
Let's see if the Eastlake defense can get a stop here, Jeremy. Last time we talked about that, we had the turnover. Looks like Gig Harbor's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Strength on the near side. And outside run to 19. We've seen a lot of 19 run today. And another first down.
Takes it down to the 1-yard line.
Wilson West has carried a heavy load for the Tides tonight.
He's a big boy. He's tough to get down. He's a good player for them.
Taken out by Landon Johnson.
Yeah, Landon Johnson and Nolan Budish on the stop. That is the 17th play of this drive, so a sustained drive by the Tides.
6:50 to go in the game. If you're Gig Harbor, if you're playing to win, you got to hustle up here a little bit.
You do.
But they
Thank
are
you to our statistician, Sean Goldie.
run right up the middle, and he's grabbed by 78.
Ball is given to Max Schwab.
I don't know that I agree with that, but they will call a touchdown. Logan Karst was there and had the ball carrier wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, but the official saw forward progress, and that's a Gig Harbor touchdown.
39-19. Looks like they're going to come kick the PAT.
Max Schwab on the ball.
But they burned a lot of time on that drive, Dave. Like I said, I think if they want to come out and compete in this game, they're going to need to go a little faster. I would guess we're going to see a heavy run from Coach Hurd as we
Ball
move on.
snap is low. Good adjustment by the holder.
Extra point is good.
Holds kick is good.
35 remaining in the game. It's Walls 39, Tides 20.
So, Dave, October 4th,
You and I will be at the Pickering Barn.
Pickering Barn.
Come join us at the Pickering Barn. $50, Jones Barbecue, open bar. It's going to be a fun night to raise some money for Eastlake football. Also, cheer, dance, and band will be beneficiaries of the night.
The other great thing is it's going to be after the Skyline win on the 3rd. So,
I love that.
You know,
I love that.
we're going to get together, come down, buy some of your tickets like Jenny talked about to play the games, support the Wolves programs, the cheer, dance.
There's a QR code floating around. If you want the QR code, let us know. We can texted. If you go on social media, the link to buy tickets is on there.
I believe
it's been emailed out.
The WFA website also has the QR code on it, so lots of places you can go sign up.
Again, thanks to our production team tonight, led by veteran Jim Thatcher. Sean Crandall is down dropping off his son at college in Cal Poly. And so Jim, who ran the show for us last year, came back, and Andrew Brill and Chris Hanska on the cameras. Thank you to everyone for putting that on.
And also the host of stadium announcing and spotting staff over to our right, doing a great job.
I just noticed our returners moved way up in anticipation of the onside kick. It is an onside kick, and it is recovered. Wow.
Eastlake.
I think that was Caden Eaton was all by himself. No, it was not Caden Eaton.
He got hit hard, whoever it was. 16. Blake Pichiar.
Good job, Blake Pichar. And Blake was the only wolf in the vicinity.
Kick attempt by Gig Harbor, but it's picked up by our own Eastlake, Blake Fisher. Eastlake will start this series at the 44-yard line.
So Ryder's coming in the game, has the play.
6.5 minutes left in the game.
Hanska and Budish on the far side, Mason King on the near side, Ord at tight end. Same personnel we've seen much of the night. Barry Smith at quarterback with Johnson, and it is a handoff to Johnson, who was hit in the backfield but gets forward for about 3 or 4 yards. Budish with the nice block on the far side. I saw a frustrated Tide, but Nolan was just giving great effort there. The clock rolls, 6:13 to go in the game, with the Eastlake Wolves leading 39-20. Barry Smith has played every snap tonight except one. Jared Gill came in one play at quarterback, also came in last week and threw a big third down pass. It'll be Ort, Budish, and King here on the near side. Hanska's out wide at the top. Johnson in the backfield with Barry Smith. Another handoff to Johnson. Run was up the middle. Miles sees something else.
Gets the ball.
It's about a 10-yard run for Miles, and that'll move the chains.
Miles is gonna have to go back and look at the chat on this. He's a straight celebrity on the live stream for sure in the chat. So.
I wouldn't talk about him if we didn't have to, but he's got in the end zone 5 times tonight, and he probably has 60 yards receiving or more, and
probably a couple hundred yards rushing.
Close to 200 rushing, I would guess. Hanska and King on the far side, Ort and Budish on the near side. And it is a keeper. Barry Smith, with the read option sort of play, lowers his shoulder for 5 yards.
Keeps the ball. Takes it over near the sideline, but stays in bounds. Keep the clock running.
I love the grit out of Barry Smith there, but you don't necessarily want your starting quarterback lowering his shoulder with 4.5 to go in the game.
So after tonight, Gig Harbor goes and plays Lake City, follows that one up at home against Lincoln.
Another run of Miles up the middle. Coach Hurd keeping the ball on the ground for a couple. We'll bring up 3rd and about 3 as the clock ticks inside of 4 minutes. Barry Smith comes over to the sideline, getting the play called in from Coach Hurd. Looks like Barrick will come in for Miles. Miles looks like he got a little banged up on the play.
I would guess Miles goes home tonight and sits in the
ice
lake.
bath in the lake.
the stream next to the house that
Yes,
feeds into the
indeed.
lake.
The natural spring.
Yeah.
So we got Barrick in the backfield. We've seen him carry the ball a couple times. King and Budish on the near side.
Whistles, call the play dead.
Looks like a
Whistles before the play.
timeout was called just before the snap. Coach Hurd did not like what he saw, but the clock rolled down to 3:23. Shout out to this Eastlake offensive line, starting with center Paxton Jacobson there, Henry Volpone, Finn Waldron, Jack Devine, Mason Flint started out the night, Brady Painters had some work in there. You guys have done a wonderful job putting 32 offensive points on the board.
Yeah.
7 of them were defense.
And most of those guys are playing both ways too. So I mean, they're big boys. They're out there in the heat. We're seeing some cramping, but they're playing with a ton of grit. Really carrying this team on their shoulders down the field and doing the hard work for the team.
Hanska to the far side, King to the near with Budish, and Ord at tight end. That's Barrick again at tailback. Barry Smith pitches it to Barrick. Barrick cuts it up, lowers his shoulder, lands on a tied defender, falls forward for an extra half a yard. That's going to bring up 4th and 2.
Adam Barrick takes the ball.
Timeout, Gig Harbor. So Gig Harbor is not willing to wave the white flag yet.
Tackle line.
And that'll bring up 4th and 2. Number 2, Estes Oliphant checks in the game here.
Gig Harbor timeout.
Indeed he does. Looks like Ort comes out. So on 4th and 2 here, I think the easy thing to do would be to run the ball and continue to grind the clock. But last drive on 4th down, Coach put it in the air and Eastlake scored. The officials calling for the players to come out. So we'll have
Press box is rocking.
it is
again.
literally rocking. We got Oliphant and King to the near side, Hanska to the far side, Budish in the backfield. Hard run up the middle, and Adam Barrick is carrying Gig Harbor defenders inside the 20-yard line.
Ball handed off to.
He had to drag that guy 7 to 10 yards. I mean, he grabbed him, and Barrick had a head of steam, and he is also tough to bring down.
I love watching Miles Johnson run his style, but Adam Barrick is like a cannonball coming out of the backfield. I'm not sure anybody wanted to get in front of that. Ort comes back in the game.
that might have been closer to 15 yards when I just watched the game film replay.
Great run by Barrick.
Yeah.
Barrick stays in the game. King, Budish, and Ort's on the far side. King and Budish on the near side. Budish is in a 3-point stance at tight end. Barrick hit at the line of scrimmage, but continues to push the pile forward. Great job by the Eastlake offensive line.
Runs hard, pushes the ball a little bit there.
And the clock continues to roll. We'll take us down inside of 2 minutes here at the next snap.
Barrick is smelling the end zone. He's not seen it as a varsity player, and he's got his opportunity.
Looks like we do have an injury timeout. Another Gig Harbor player down. He's sitting up. Looks to be okay, but I would suspect is another cramp.
Injury timeout. 2 minutes left in the game.
Whoever can invent something that prohibits calf cramps for football players the first August and September games would be a wealthy individual. I've heard about liquid IV, but these guys must not take it. Pickle juice might be the solution. When I was in college, they used to keep mustard packets on the sideline also. We would suck down mustard and pickle juice.
Did you ever mix the mustard with the pickle juice? Like a liquid hamburger?
Sounds kind of good if you're looking for some salt.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in mustard that maybe, is it salty? It's not legal to, Mr. Thatcher said it's not legal to mix mustard and pickle juice. I'm being told that preservatives in mustard help with the cramping.
That's why they use the packets, not the bottle of mustard.
There's probably a nutritionist listening online and thinks that we don't know what we're talking about, but somebody's got to figure it out because it's worth a lot of money.
It is.
All right, here's the Eastlake offense, 2nd and 6. Clock's at 2:08.
Eastlake at 2nd and 8.
Budish at wingback, Ort tight end on the far side, King on the near side, Barrick still in the backfield, Hanska's out wide. Looks to be a run formation. And it's a run to Barrick indeed. He gets the edge. Budish on the block. Barrick
Flag on the play.
inside the 10, but there's a flag in the vicinity of holding. We'll see what the call is. And Eastlake will be pushed back. I suspect the 10-yard variety should put the ball at the 22.
Looks like it's going to be holding against Eastlake. That'll move the ball back a few yards there, 10 yards.
That's the 10th play of this drive, Dave. So
10-play drive.
another sustained drive by the Wolves. We've seen a lot of sustained drives tonight.
Clock will run even after the penalty once the ball gets spotted. It was a run inbounds. So Eastlake will
Take their time.
grind this down to a minute and a half. Hanska in motion. It's a handoff to Hanska. Little quick pitch. Hanska turns it up, lowers his shoulder down to about the 16-yard line.
Moves the ball to the 25-yard line. Taken down by Russell Pierce from Gig Harbor. They'll bring up 3rd down and about 7 for the Wolves. Actually, 3rd down and about 9.
Interesting to see what Coach Hurd calls up here. Barry Smith stepping into the huddle. Ball's on the near hash. Hanska King split out to the far side. Budish at wingback with Ort in front of him at tight end.
That is a load. On the end of the
Hanska,
line.
same motion as last time. Fakes now to Barrick. And Barrick carries a load of defenders.
Adam Barrett gets the ball, carries.
And that's going to be the end of the game.
Gig Harbor ties.
Unless Gig Harbor calls a timeout,
Down to the 10.
the Eastlake Wolves do not have to snap the ball again and will go away victors tonight, 39-20.
Play of the game, barring any kind of timeout.
Well, Jeremy, this was another fun broadcast with you. I look forward to being on the road. Tomorrow or next weekend will be really our longest road trip down to Tumwater.
Tumwater on a Friday night could be a couple hours, Dave.
Yeah,
So,
we're going to be on I-5, but super proud of the Eastlake Wolves rebounding from last week's loss. It'll take us to 1-1 with the big win. Gig Harbor also will be 1-1. And we will see you next Saturday night live from Tumwater, Washington, playing another similar team that runs the wing tee. Tumwater came up here to Eastlake last year, Jeremy, and kind of smacked us in the mouth.
They did.
They run a very similar offense. I don't know that they're as physical, but they execute the misdirections and the fakes
Very well,
seamlessly.
very well, yeah. It's going to be a fun game Friday night, Dave. Like I said, we got a little warm-up here with Gig Harbor for sure. Tumwater runs it well. We're on the road. We're down at their house. It's going to be a fun atmosphere.
Well, with that, we'll sign off here from the booth.
Before we do, remember, watch the YouTube channel this week. We're going to get that video of the interviews posted with the boys that we did before the game tonight. Get to listen to some of those senior leaders talk about what they aspire for this season. So, yeah, thanks again to the sponsors. And again, last but not least, if you enjoyed the broadcast, hit the like button.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe to our channel. Please, it helps us, it helps you.
Like and subscribe, please.
So, thank you very much. Have a great night. Jeremy Budish and Dave Oliphant.
Wolf
Sign-
strong, pack strong. Go
signing
Wolves.
off. Go Wolves.